I don't exist. I'm a metaphysical concept.
The running gag will never die. No. Which I'm currently up. So I am not. There you go. Thank you, phone. I forget how long my titles are. Fired up there. Here, I might as well poke certain someone else. Maybe, possibly. There you go. Great, wonderful. And the mic is working. Good. Hello, everyone. I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and today we are playing another episode of The Great Continental War of the Setting Sun, a Fantasy Age 2nd Edition RPG. And today we are focusing on the nephew-uncle duo, rather than the privateer duo. Don't worry, we'll get to them. They're going to be sunk, don't worry about it. So, they'll make new characters, they'll love it. We'll even have to do it on stream. Anyone believing this? Not me. So
good thing that Fantasy Age 2 makes creating characters a fun and streamlined process. Thanks, Fantasy Age 2.
Thumbs up.
Oh god. Not sponsored, but yeah, totally. It's actually pretty good. I like it for that. Although, hey, Green Ronin. No.
Just saying, Green Ronin.
And I gotta say, half the fun of Traveler, I mean, it's a whole experience itself. It's just creating a Traveler character. That's a pretty awesome experience.
It is. So, for our opening. The battle for Seabreeze Cove amounted not of clashing blades, but a dance of shadows and clandestine dealings with an enigmatic local branch of the House of Raven, led by the mysterious Severus Nightshade. Through shrewd political maneuvering, Captain Cormac McNeil and the 1st Squadron de la Selle wrested control of the city from Vitlu's grasp. However, victory came with a price. Lieutenant Diogo Borgia found himself entangled in the dark dealings of the House of Ravens. To ensure safety from their assassins, he embarked on a mission to secure the Chalice of St. Solara, a sacred Tin Island royal artifact. This cup, once sipped from by St. Solara herself, held significance in the liberation of the 10 Isles from the Empire of Magi. Yet, the chalice resided in private hands, having passed through a thieving chain that included Nightshade. With Captain Cormac McNeil by his side, Borgia navigated the treacherous waters of power politics, confronting civil authorities who didn't hold the chalice, I miswrote there, but held information that could lead to the chalice. The delicate balance of force and diplomacy became their chosen path to secure their hard-fought victory. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Isabelle Dumas unraveled a new challenge. The 10 Island sloop of war HMS Greenwind speeding away, likely aiming to intercept the galleon naval vessel that had been watching. Fearing for their comrade's safety, Dumas, with the help of Sergeant Luciano Bianchi and Dame Sophie Rousseau, enlisted the aid of Vinlander privateer Captain Nelly Arvidsson. Their mission? To pursue the Greenwind and be prepared to rescue the galleon message ship. As forces under Dame Rousseau and Lieutenant Dumas dealt with the unfolding maritime threat, only Captain McNeil and Lieutenant Borgia and their forces remained to navigate the intricate dealings with the House of Ravens, securing their victory through cunning. Yes, those are the words we'll use. To Seabreeze Cove we go. Once more. Last we left off, Diego Borgia had a bit of a social confrontation with his fellow Lieutenant Safwan, debating the ethicality of the seizure of the magistrate's office and the capture of Chief Magistrate Swiftwind. And Savon had made the revelation that he had seen not of Don Rousseau's or Dumas' forces. By this point, a runner will have come back and informed Savon and Borgia of the movements of their forces. And actually, no, there would be a runner who was sent by Dumas, who has finally just now reported what Dumas is up to.
Okay, are we actually that far away from the magistrate's office as on the map, or because I thought this was kind of happening?
It's probably more like here, like you're down the
Okay.
street. Like you did have to run him down to get to him before you got too far away.
Okay.
But the bulk of your forces are in this area, in this lower part of the district of the
Okay.
of the South Docks.
Just hang tight, Safwan. Give me a chance to fix this, and I'll go running back to McNeil and try to beat my troops who are dragging magistrates up there to him.
Give me a roll of
Scroll.
This feels like running.
Acrobatics, parkour.
Constitution stamina.
In Bay, I think it is Constitution, because I think running falls under Constitution rather than other stats. So a Constitution roll. See if you can get there rapido.
Okay. Not one of my better rolls. Constitution, there it is. Guessing that's probably not enough.
What was your number?
10.
It might do it. Hold on.
Well, nothing is obstructing him, I think, right? So.
10 won't be enough. No.
Okay. Let's spend a point early. If I just add 2 to it, will 12 do?
I'd say so.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just spend a point to add 2 to that roll.
Very good. So yeah, you have to kind of push yourself pretty hard to outpace the soldiers flooding the massive magistrate's office. Courts are being held up as troops are starting to pour into places. They're starting to storm up stairs, rifles in hand. But you kind of outpace their entire seizure of the building to get to where McNeil and the unconscious Swiftwind is.
Okay, Uncle. I've
Yes.
overplayed my hand, but I think I know how to at least keep the blowback from landing on you, because that's what's going to happen now. You've got
McNeil is sitting in the chair that Magistrate Swiftwind offered him, sipping some tea. Oh yes, the blowback. Yes, do tell.
You've got to chew me out. You got to do it publicly. You've got to countermand my orders and then make me apologize to the magistrates my men are even now hauling up the stairs. And then you've got to assign me to some sort of shit duty. I don't know, checking the pack animals for injury and disease or something. That way it makes it look like it was the mistake of a young lieutenant on his first campaign rather than an experienced captain and diplomat.
Open the door now! Thud, 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 thud. You hear commotion everywhere else in the building.
What did you say against whipping, Diego?
It's bad. What?
I'm sure the men wouldn't mind a few lashes for someone that committed something like this, right?
They would probably rise up and hang you.
Oh, fair enough. Right, let the men in, please.
Borgia will open the door. Do you want to really have them see the magistrate?
Well, the body is your wrongdoing, isn't it?
Okay. Diego will open the door.
You hear the noise of some 75 soldiers running about. Well, not 75, but like a lot of soldiers running around in the building. You called in your rifle. So it's like, actually, no, you called in your rifle. So the 25, there's like 25 guys or so running around. So you could grab some sergeant or another and try to get them to stop. But right now they're in the middle of the orders you're giving them until you get them to stop doing what they're doing.
Right. Which I'm McNeil, are you going to countermand, or do you want me to countermand?
If I see the riflemen coming in, are they all flustered and all eager for action or something
They're
like
not
that?
all coming to just your room. There's like two guys maybe coming to your room. There's
Those that
everyone else is
have-
spread out across the building.
Those that have, I'll tell them to stand at attention.
Oh, they stand at attention.
Borgia will do the same.
I'll, just quickly walk over to them and say, please rally up all the men. Tell them to stop all this blasted screaming and shouting and running about, and tell them to gather up here. You have 5 minutes. I'll pull out my my stopwatch, click it, and say, go.
Give me communication leadership.
18 with 3 stun points?
Easily done. It was a fairly low DC, but I wanted to see if you get any stun points, which you did.
Yeah, let me see if I can get some stun points off. Let me get the list.
Like this could be like 7, but I was like, oh, I want to make sure you get at least 7, so the guy doesn't just blink at you confused by your accent or something. It's like, no, I made very clear orders. You understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah, I'll make it. I'll spend 2 for crowd appeal. I don't know if there's any other listening there. Let them get the message as well. And 1 to read the situation.
Easier. Alright. You did crowd appeal, so like you told one guy and the other guy is just catching on to what you're doing. And your willpower is easily higher than their communication. What's your willpower actually? Is it 0, -1?
No, it's a 2.
Yeah, you're fine. Read the situation. Their attitude toward you. What is your reputation with militarists?
Oh, dearie. Let me get that for you real quick. Hang on.
Sure.
We got a 1 here, -1 here, so we're at 0. -1, we're at -1. +1, so we're at 0. -1, so we're at -1. -1, so we're at -2. -2 overall.
Currently it is -1 overall.
-2 overall.
There's 2. They're actually standoffish with you. The reason they're following your orders is because the people directly under you, are people they respect. So it does take you do realize there is a half tick of checking with the lieutenant to see if you're gonna countermand him in some way. But since I doubt you're doing that,
No.
they carry on.
No.
They're not
Yeah,
hostile to you, but
told
they're
old man.
standoffish. They'd rather not be under your command, but they don't really get a choice. That's not how the army works.
Well, too bad. And like I said, I'll time them 5 minutes and, just look over Diego and say, you can rest at ease now, but do stand at attention again once they come back.
Right.
All right, 5 minutes.
Luckily, you can sell water to fish, so you can probably convince the magistrate that you were in the heat of the moment. She misunderstood, and you were trying to order me not to hit her
Oh, are you willing to
or
take?
something.
Are you willing to take a slap or two, Diego? Just asking.
Sure.
Good. It's not a whip, but it'll have to do.
Despite the rapid shift in orders, like going full on seize the building to halt what you're doing, come to this room, it does result in some confusion between not your soldiers understanding the order, but the people they were basically attacking and manhandling, and then they just stop for some reason that the locals, the people in the building, don't really understand. Some people do follow along, and the soldiers just there's a few as some more of the soldiers of Borgia's men come in, and they don't flood the room because it's 25 some guys. Well, they could just come. They could all pour into the same room if you want them to, because they would just pack the walls basically, and some would be out in the hall. But there's like a few hangers on of like magistrate security, like bailiffs and stuff, who are wondering what all the commotion was about. So they've come up to see, and one of the bailiffs probably asked one of them, "Hey, what's going on? We don't know. That's what we're about to find out. If you want to come with, we won't stop you. It's your building." Okay, and kind of follow up to where you are. So there's like your 25 guys plus 4 or 5 bailiffs from across the building who are wondering what's happened. They look very upset.
Okay, so they've all lined up in front of this like office. Can they see the unconscious magistrate? I would make sure actually that they could see the unconscious magistrate.
Well, it depends if you, like I say, you could pile in as many as you could into the room. Because remember, some 25 guys inside like a study and office, so they could. But some more, if you want to have some walking around room, you'd want some people in the hall, so not the entire unit would be able to see it.
Yeah, we'll have
They're
some
soldiers.
walking around.
Word will spread like wildfire.
Plus, some are listening and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd make sure at least the front row or the first 2 rows can like see the unconscious magistrate. And once they're lined up, I'll tell them, Lieutenant Borgia, please step out to me.
At attention in a drill ground precision, I step in front of the major, the captain.
Take off your shako.
I do, and put it under my arm smartly.
Let this be a reminder to all of you who would dare not follow orders, and who would try to unlawfully seize this town not in the way we first deigned it to be. We may be the Emperor's army, but we are not brutes and savages. I have my walking stick with me. I'll slap Diego across the face with it. Once, twice, and then rest it at my legs.
Roll me fighting just to make sure you don't like overcommit to the hit and actually hurt him. Unless you actually are trying to smack him. Like you're actually
I'm trying to draw some blood, but not much. You know, maybe just like a cut above his eyebrow or something like that.
Yeah, just give me a fighting, I believe it is for clubs.
Yep.
Give me
I
fighting.
think so, yeah.
That's a 10 with 3 stun points.
Diego's had is a hard head.
What's Diego's defense?
14.
Yeah. So yeah, you can. Obviously,
okay,
I imagine Diego isn't trying to dodge, so it's just a matter.
Yeah, I was about to say, the flip side is, can I, effectively lower that by just standing at attention and taking the punishment?
Yep. So you will take. You have 3 stun points. You can spend those to combat, but I imagine you're spending those to social as more of a social.
I'm
thing.
spending them on social, yeah, for an impress, all 3 of them, so I can get +1 on the next test if I'm going to need to convince the men some more.
Gotcha. Easily done.
Press all 3 of them, so I can get +1 on the next test if I'm going to need to convince the men.
Sorry, I just looped myself. That's why there was a repeat. He did just repeat himself. That was me. Sorry. Give me I believe it's a D6 for your
I had it somewhere. Hang on, my club. It's somewhere here.
Oh, yeah, you fought with it once. Right.
Walking stick. Oh, it doesn't say. I think it was a D4, not a D6. Just check real quick if you can.
Yeah.
I've got it open. I'm not really seeing. There it is. 1d6. Yeah.
D6. Okay.
It's actually accuracy because it's part of the staves group. Weirdly enough.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, then it will be an 11 overall. But yeah. But there you go. 5.
Plus your strength.
1, so 6.
6 damage as he clocks you in the face.
And I'll turn around to the others. How are the riflemen looking at all this?
Diego will just sort of take it like a man. His head will move, but he won't stagger bodily.
Give me, as you look about the men and women of the rifles, give me perception, empathy.
Just a perception, you could have said so. Here's a 13.
13. They're still pretty standoffish right now because he didn't do anything to stop. He didn't try to fight back or anything, so they don't look pleased that he got hit. But they're not more hostile. They're not breaking rank to save him or anything like that.
Right, so I'll give them an explanation. Lieutenant Borgia, unlawfully tried to seize this town after we have given our word that we would not do so. He even knocked out the chief magistrate of his own accord. The Emperor has given us the right to seize this city or any city the way we wish, but we have chosen to do so here without shedding any blood. If the Emperor's word is no good, then, men and women, you are no good either. And then you might as well quit and resign your posts.
Communication, leadership, easily.
I have
you get plus
3 on this.
and I'm gonna give you +1 because you have evidence of Swift on the ground, and you're not lying. He did just strike her. Borgia, you
That's
can roll communication.
over 24, actually, I think, with 3 stun points.
Ooh, Borgia, you can roll to assist here. Communication, leadership as well.
Not that you really need it, but
Oh, no, I don't.
nonetheless.
What?
Well, there you go. Too bad those stun points don't matter because you're just assisting. But
Right.
that does put it over the target number. That puts it to the target number of 21. So,
Well, no, with all the bonuses, I was actually over 24.
Oh, hell. Okay, yeah. So, you have the 3 stun points. What I'll tell you, because you got an epic target number, there is a lot of rumbling and muttering. Sergeants very quickly tell people to stow it. The captain is talking. To it, the previous reputation of oath-breaking conqueror. McNeil, you lose it.
Yeah, that's what I was after with all those.
Holder of oaths. Plus militarist, plus common, plus bougies, negative, revolutionary. So it basically flips that around. And Borgia, you're gonna just hang on to it because you're the one being dinged for it. It'd be renamed, but it's the same difference. We all know what it means.
Right.
Now, for the rest of you, fall in. And if I hear another word of so much as anything other than a peaceful taking over of this town occurring, if any citizen is struck, if any hair of any magistrate's head falls off, I will find you personally responsible, and trust me, I will draw and quarter you. Dismissed.
And, did you think he was kidding? Move! A sergeant shouts, and I was like, oh, they kind of get on their way. As the sergeant just leans into it, it's like, oh, hey, captain said we can be super tough. Sure, I'll be super tough. Rawr, get moving.
Diego, are you alright?
Fine. I take out a kerchief and apply pressure to the bleeding cut.
Now, look, if you truly are looking for some punishment to serve, they apparently have some sort of holy relics here. So we've heard. Do try and see that they're all right, and that they don't fall into the wrong hands. You may take 2 men with you. Someone you trust.
What relics are we talking about?
Some old Tin Islander stuff. Don't worry about it.
All right.
A couple of bailiffs come up to what's happened as they see the chief magistrate lying on the ground.
My lieutenant is being punished right here for this transgression that he made against your chief magistrate. She was, as he considered her, a stubborn woman. But rest assured, corporal punishment shall be enacted.
I'm already bleeding. So, Diego will, adjust his pressure on the wound to make it ooze a little bit more so that, it looks a little bloodier than it is.
Bailiffs, I assure you the situation here is under control.
Is she alright? Says one of them.
We'll get her up and running in a second. I have some smelling salts with me.
Diego will snap to attention. Once again, my apologies, sir. If I am dismissed, I'll be about my duties.
What we have discussed, Lieutenant, get to it at once, and do not let me see you slacking. Dismissed.
Sir. And salute and head out.
Don't worry
The
about the
bailiffs kind of shove you with their shoulders a little bit as you pass by them.
Don't worry about the magistrate, bailiffs. I'll make sure that she is comfortable and awake soon, and I'll tend to her wounds.
Diego will give the bailiffs an evil smile as he walks through them.
Should we at least get her off the floor? Says one of the bailiffs as they let Borgia go.
Yes, let the prop her up in her chair. I'll get my smelling salts ready.
And the two of them kind of gently lift the leader of their city onto a chair.
Right, you are dismissed, gentlemen.
We don't answer to your orders, Captain. Looking
Yes,
after
but-
our chief magistrate.
Oh, very well. You don't mind if I wait here with you, do you? I'll sip my tea.
Mary, go get the whatever supplies we have. Make sure she's all right. The other bailiff kind of hurries off to go get something. You said you're at smelling salts, Captain?
Oh, yes. I'll dig around my pockets, try and find something. Oh dear. I seem to have run out. If your man over there can find one of my other lieutenants, I think they may have some on them. Or if you can find our quartermaster, I'm sure he'd be willing to provide.
He shouts some orders further down to some other bailiff, some other staffers who kind of wanders into view and who wondering what was going on. Like, oh, and they kind of scurry off to do other things. You can hear that the rest of the building is slowly coming back to order again. Some people are rubberneck every so often, but the bailiff in the room kind of tells people, go away, shoo. And then eventually someone's smart enough to actually come in with some smelling salt and like close the door rather than just leave it hang open like he left it.
Tea, bailiff?
I'm fine, sir.
It is exquisite.
And he attempts to tend to the poor lady's injuries. Someone roll 3d6 for me. A little faster while I'm looking this up.
Go, Ensley.
Oh, fine, I guess I'll go back over to the computer then.
What, you were off the computer? Man, alright, I'll do it.
I got it. I'm here. 3d6.
Yeah,
Boom. There you go.
Whoa.
appreciate.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a
that
hell of a
yeah.
roll, huh?
Advantage of a wireless headset.
I'm in every other part of the book but where I need to be. Healing. There we go. Because you didn't swing to kill her or anything. You just knocked her out. So she should just pop to her feet. I'm just making
Yeah.
sure that's what happens.
Yeah, I honestly thought I was just slapping her, not punching her. So
But you clocked her. Oh, God.
yeah, got her with the heel of my hands instead of just the fingers, I guess.
Maybe she's just a very frail woman. Who knows?
That'll make me look even better.
There we go. Oh. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I was looking in the wrong spot. Yeah, so after a bit of tending and stuff, and 17, yeah, no, plus the guy's ability, he's able to him and his fellow bailiff are able to rouse her back to consciousness again.
Magistrate, so good to see you again. Dreadfully sorry about what happened. I assure you the lieutenant that has done this has been punished. Quite severely.
Communication persuasion.
Right,
Or
convince you for etiquette?
Now's where you sell water to fish.
Etiquette doesn't really help you here.
I am
she
being
seems
nice
thoroughly
about it.
upset.
I'm being nice about it. That's not gonna do it. I'm gonna AP this. Wow, we're using these up very early today. Here's a 20.
There you go. So yeah, you're able to. She looks very upset and like.
Sure, but I placate her, like, hey, I'm sorry, we didn't mean to. He didn't mean to. We're not undermining your authority. You're the boss here, boss.
And now that she's not ordering the bailiffs to immediately arrest the man, since you seem to have it in hand, where does Borgia scurry off to?
Well, I'll make sure that all the men are obeying the captain's orders, and kind of, reinforcing both my authority and the fact that yes, the authority also runs to the captain, and that I'm, fine with obeying military punishment and orders and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to find a cafe, coffee house, something, and finally read through the papers that I got from Nightshade about the chalice of Solara and its description and whereabouts and blah blah blah. He gave me a sheaf of papers.
Give me a roll, some variety. Involves a focus.
Parkour.
Parkour isn't it. I'm pretty sure of that one. You have to say parkour while you're doing it, otherwise it doesn't. It's a sparkling.
Yeah, otherwise it doesn't work. Yeah.
I would say intelligence. As your files.
Again, not one of my better ones. It's going to get better once we hit level 3, but we're not there yet. 13. How's that looking?
13 gets you some. It will get you some of the way there.
Would 15 get me all of the way there?
Oh, actually, wait. I'm mixing up systems. It's the you hit the target number. It's your challenge that shows how much you. Yeah. Right. Right. I understand now. Sorry. Hold on. Yes, that you don't need to do the plus.
Okay.
To that, I have to see. This is an advanced test. Right. Sorry, I got other systems in my brain.
Okay. So I'm notching up points towards a goal with my it's not the spirit die, stunt die.
Spirit die. Cthulhu Awakens.
Sorry, I'm prepping for a Savage Worlds campaign. So Savage Worlds, another great generic system that can stand alongside any, just like Fantasy Age 2.
Types of simple, basic, advanced. And then go to the Game Master bit. Thank you. And the rules. Mastering tests. Complex tests. Advanced tests. There we go. You made the list. So you've knocked up 4 successes towards your thing. This segment brought to you by Savage World. So your initial read of the details indicates that they've narrowed down that it has not left the confines of Seabreeze Cove or its walls, because the theft happened before the invasion, and once the invasion, and they've been kind of watching it, anyone moving suspicious packages or doing any sort of smuggling maneuvers at the edges, including the docks, and that has yet to happen. And the other half of the equation is that since there's a war on now, it's kind of a two-edged sword. There is the idea that people aren't terribly keen to go marching about waiting for some soldier to grab them, or the Navy grabbing you for inspection, whether it's Gallian Navy or Vitluian Navy or Tin Island Navy. So they're still here, but the other edge of the sword is that they probably were going to try to escape during the battle, but the battle never happened. So now they're going to probably wait till some kerfluffle, some changing of hands moment occurs. So you can guesstimate that it's once the main army gets here, you've lost all hope, because then in the confusion of that many people descending on a city like this, they disappear. They may try to leave sooner than that, but that's your absolute time limit. If the army gets here, if the 7th Corps gets here, you'll never find them again. That's what you get in your initial roll of reading through the papers. There's a lot, but it does narrow down that you don't have to worry about the surrounding villages and townships and such, or even the ships, because it wouldn't be loaded onto a ship yet, because I would need to get past the dockmaster. Mind you, one ship has left, you will learn through runners of Safwan, because that's the one Dumas took to chase down the Green Wind. Do you continue reading through your papers?
It's not a boy there.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yes. I mean, that gives me some parameters, but it doesn't really help me to know where to even begin to look.
While you continue reading, what is McNeil up to in the magistrate's office? Now that by this point, you will have finally calmed her down, and she's less upset. She's a lot more patched up. There's a single bailiff in the room at the moment, because she has been attacked. But he's not standing over you. He's more guarding. You see him standing inside, and he keeps the door closed and stuff.
Right, well, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's file an official formal request that she asked to reinstitute the Emperor's law in this place, which by extension was her Queen's law, and, let's sign all the goddamn documents that she wanted us to sign.
All right, you are going to... thankfully, she's going to help you, because she wanted you to do this, and... you need to give me...
But let me also tell you, I'd like to see, which documents she wants me to sign, which are sort of, redundant. I'm trying to speed the process up, so, oh, this one says that we have to check into this place. Oh, no, we don't have to do that. We're not doing this, we're doing that.
Intelligence.
Let's try and avoid as much red tape as we can.
Intelligence.
15?
15. Does get you some progress.
Will a 17 give me more progress, or?
Your success die is what matters. What you get in your stunt die. You did get enough to push forward. So you've accrued 5 so far of the number you need. Her help is immaterial because you're able to get it on your own. So that's the first stage of it. The first stage is you just finding what you don't need to do and trying to speed it along. Like certain things certain things that between you and her, you kind of are able to jump a few hurdles a little quicker because you're a gentleman and an officer. She's the chief magistrate, so there's a lot of stuff you don't have to do because you're not just a common citizen.
Yeah, I'm not a peasant here looking for a lost cow.
Borgia, you're continuing your reading.
Yup.
Well, now you've understood the papers you're reading. What are you looking for from the papers at this point? Now that you understand what it is, the broad strokes of what they've done so far.
Right. And does this include like a description of the chalice so that
Yeah,
I might
it amounts to a simple wooden chalice, but with some old decoration that once upon a time was considered heretical by the Empire of Magi. But that's kind of how you know it's her chalice, because she loved to she was a carver once upon a time before her Holy Crusade.
So yeah, I'm looking for a thread to pull on, a place to start, a clue as to, okay, so I know it's still in the city, but I need to narrow that down and find some threads I can pull on to try and figure out where and who.
Give me perception.
Okay. It's slightly better than intelligence. 17 and 4 for the stunt die, which if that
17
hits
does
a number,
get it.
Bring me up to 8 total.
So far you're able to narrow it down to somewhere in Northgate. Because anything else that's too close to the dock, all the stuff that's near the docks is either the dock area itself or the neighborhoods adjoining Cheese Park are too much under the auspice of the House of Ravens. So if they believe that if you wanted to try to disappear and hide from them, you'd have to hide in Northgate as much as possible.
Say, isn't Northgate that entire big brown part that's north and west of the river, east of the river?
Yeah.
Like that whole, like down here as well?
Yep.
Doesn't narrow it down by much, but
Right.
It's half the city.
it's a start. Yeah, it's a start.
And it's not outside the walls, so it eliminates the
Right.
Mire or Heather Grove, because if you're outside the walls, just keep going.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to need to make another pass or two at these papers to try and see if I can tease out anything I've missed the first couple times.
Meanwhile, McNeil, you've narrowed down between you and Swiftwind. You're able to kind of you figured out what papers you can't get around. There's no way to skip them. Without royal assent, and you doubt the Queen's going to be on side on this, and kind of don't want to wait for her. So
Well, the Queen isn't, but the Emperor is.
Well, he's not present to sign it. It's the problem.
Well, that's a shame.
But yeah, so there's some paperwork still left. Now it's just a matter of filling out the paperwork and arguing your case in writing.
Okay, well, let's try and make this, like it was initially planned. We're here to reestablish the Emperor's law, like Diego said, because the Queen and the Emperor were on good terms, but then something happened, and now we're just here to see that the Emperor, gets what's owed to him in a good way, not a bad way.
Don't forget the perfidy of the 10 Islanders.
And the perfidy of my own people, yes, that unlawfully attacked the Gallian Empire, and the Gallian Empire is now alongside the Alamanians, the two largest empires. And if you do bad things against the big people, well, yeah.
So you're intimidating.
No. The big players are all in on this. Why won't you be a big player as well?
Okay. Communication.
Thank you.
You almost talked yourself into strength.
Oh, Christ almighty. I'll spend my last one to reroll this. Screw it. Yeah,
17
better,
will
but
do it. One
the
more
stump die
progress.
is kind of poo-poo.
Oh, you're at
6 overall.
6 overall. So far, you've made what progress you can in writing. At this point, the chief magistrate tells you that she will tomorrow. She'll have an emergency meeting and have you. She'll bring it up with the very other magistrates and put it in the system today, and then everyone will be able to read what you wrote and be ready for a morning discussion hearing on the matter. She presumes that you wish. She presumes that you are representing the case. You're not bringing some advocate or jurist of the Seventh Court.
No, madam, I am the law. That sounds better in Tin Islander. No, I'm my own advocate.
Yes. Awfully monarchical of you. Not that I mind, but you know. Oh, the good old days when everything made sense.
Exactly. I will thank her for her time, the bailiff as well, and I will go seek... wait, something just popped into my head. Where the hell are my other lieutenants? I have not heard nor whisper of their whereabouts.
Oh, to clarify, just to make sure, you do want to meet in the morning?
Yes.
Good.
First thing in the morning.
Cool.
But
So you go
I shall
looking
seek
about to find out.
I shall seek my other lieutenants, and hopefully I run into Diego somewhere in a coffee house.
You can find Borgia if you like, yeah. So Fawn's
Yeah.
milling around, making sure the soldiers are in good order and working with the local gendarme to make sure everything's in good order.
Is
People are getting housed and stuff.
Safwan still cross with me?
It's trickled down to him that you settled the matter. So when you do see him in passing, he gives you he would salute you anyway because you're superior, but it's a very sharp salute. Like he's glad.
That's right, Lieutenant Safwan. We salute the rank, not the man.
Yeah.
Okay. So he is still a bit cross with me. But he is a filthy villager.
I'll give you perception empathy.
Okay.
Before the dark times, before the Tumbler.
11, I assume, won't do it.
No, well.
No, okay.
But yeah, you'll find Swavan milling about and doing his thing. But you do find his thing. Yeah. Anyway, you do find Borgia in a coffee shop, sipping away with, palming through sheafs and sheafs of paper, resorting them, looking through one, shuffling it through, reading another one.
I'll take my hat off to be like less conspicuous because this hat is huge and plumed, and sit down with him, like go through my graying hair. Nephew, are you feeling all right?
Fine. Just trying to narrow down the location of one of those artifacts you mentioned.
Well, you'll be happy to know we've gone through the legalese at the very least. I've tried to cut all the fat that I could. Blasted lawyers, they'd sell their own mother for a 3-penny piece.
So?
But we have an emergency meeting scheduled with the other magistrates tomorrow morning. I shall, of course, as part of the honor guard, require both you and all the other lieutenants, all my senior officers there. I know, but it's your way also of apologizing, so to speak.
Yeah, the problem may not be with me, sir, but with Isabel and oh god, I'm blanking on her name. The religious
the dame.
Rousseau, yeah, the dame. It
No
appears
problem. What do you mean?
from reports we've gotten from a runner sent by the dame that Isabel and her forces and the dame and her forces have embarked on a sea campaign. It appears the picket vessel from the Tin Islands was, after we sent up a flare to alert our ship, started making aggressive moves toward our ship, readying for combat. And since we could not tell, Isabel could not tell from shore if they were ready to. They recognized that the Tin Islander ship was coming after them. She hired a privateer, for lack of a better word,
She what?
from Vinland, and all of the troops have set out after the Tin Islander ship aboard the Vinlander cruiser.
She what? She hired
So-
a privateer?
Right now, Safwan and I are the only officers you have in town, and also our forces are all we have to control the town if necessary until
Some
Isabel
people look
and-
over at your table. They're paying attention to this conversation, and all of a sudden,
Oh, well, shit.
you're in a coffee house.
That's fair.
Blast the damn galleons. Are they so stubborn that they can never listen to simple orders?
Only
Is
to
it
drink
always
wine.
so?
Here. And someone slaps his hand like,
I-
shut up.
Not that the rifles and Safwan's forces aren't more than we need to keep control if necessary, particularly my riflemen who are trained in urban combat. I kind of, side eye some people.
Strength roll, please.
Yeah, again, not one of my better skills. Yeah, I'm much better at actually conducting urban combat than threatening to conduct urban combat.
You don't come off very
12.
threatening, which kind of helps you in a way. You know what? The average person just having a coffee with their day, yeah, they're a little cowed. Some people are done for the day. They're gonna go somewhere else. Much to the
That's
annoyance of the servers, but they're not gonna cause trouble for the people with rifles. So.
Right.
I'll lower myself to a whisper, but Dame Rousseau took 125 soldiers with her.
As far as from the reports we got, both contingents got on the boat.
And you're telling me that I should...
Is that right, GM? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, the officers directly under Borgia and Safwan are still here.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
And you're telling me, Diego, that I shouldn't whip these people? Really?
I'm telling you that you can't legally, and that if you try to, you'll find yourself on the end of a rope or to paying a very brief visit to Monsieur la Guillotine in short order. The troops don't like it.
Surely there must be some kind of court-martial where I can do something to these disobedient...
Well, sure.
little-
You could court-martial them. You can cashier them. You can impose significant fines. I wouldn't, for circumstances like this, particularly recommend what you did to me. Not to mention that I'm not sure either one of them would stand for it. But yeah, you've got options if you really want to exercise them. But if they come back with a victory, you might want to be ready to claim it as your idea, or
If
at
they
least
come back
congratulate
with-
them.
If they come back with war, with the Tin Isles, then we are in for something much more serious than congratulations on behalf of the Emperor, my nephew.
Loud roaring thunder. The sky darkens outside the window, and you can hear a pitter-patter of rain hitting the glass.
That is, if they don't sink first.
Well,
This
to be
is not
fair,
sailing weather.
To be fair, the Tin Islander ship was clearing your decks for action and heading after ours, so it's not like we started this one. But in any event, yes, that's the disposition of your officers currently.
Should they be captured aboard this privateer ship that they hired, it will be very tough to explain to the High King, from a diplomatic sort of standpoint, what the hell happened. If there ever was a Kossop ally, they just got it.
Well,
But we'll see, right? Time will tell.
right.
Sharp
Maybe nothing
whistling
happened.
wind roars through the streets for a second. People start closing up their windows, and even the store person kind of pulls the door a little more firmly and kind of locks it, just to keep
I
it from
signaled the waitress
flying
to get another cup of coffee and a sandwich or something and say, looks like a storm's rolling in.
Have you made
Get
any
them bad
progress?
here often?
Oh, just stern southwester coming in. It's just gonna crash into us. He'll blow over within the day.
I hate to be out in the water during this.
Well, anyone out in the water would be a fool. Everyone's strapped down now, close to the coast if they have any sense in them.
Well, who says Tin Islanders have sense?
I'll raise
The
an
lady
eyebrow.
looks at she laughs at first because she sees the uniform, not the man, right away, and then
Right.
she sees the very Tin Islander hairstyling and facial, and just kind of, ha 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 ha, would you like more tea?
Yes, yes, please, with extra honey, if you'd be so kind.
Certainly. And she carries on getting you a sandwich and some refreshing your teas.
One day those jokes won't fly under the radar, nephew.
Really?
You share part of my blood as well, don't forget that.
Do I? I thought like you were like my quote unquote uncle that grew up with around the family. But okay, whatever.
Did I? I thought you were like my older,
Actual nephew?
my younger sister's cousin's third something removed, you know?
That's fine. It doesn't really matter.
Have you made any progress on the thing?
Well, okay, and Diego will lower his voice now, and some of the crowd is thinned out. All right, let me make sure that we're looking for the same thing: the chalice of Saint Solara.
Such relics. I assume you can keep a secret, yes?
I do it regularly.
Of course you do. Now listen, I'm only trusting you with this because we are sort of like family.
Okay.
These relics, along with the one that I got in the previous little hamlet, what was it called? Can you recall? Uh,
Yes, if I could flip through my notes.
Hang on, I have some in my notes as well. Songoso? No,
Songoso.
no. Was it Songoso? Yeah.
Songoso, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember the village called Songoso that we were in where all those Tin Islander monks were?
Yes, yes. Very
Yeah,
lucrative.
they were protecting something quite valuable there, a relic which, if my assumptions are correct, will give me enough praxis to come back home and end this foolish war.
Well, and from what I understand, if you get this particular cup in your hands, that'll give you even more language. However, there's a caveat to the cup.
Oh, don't tell me it's cursed.
No, well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. There are certain very dangerous interests in Seabreeze Cove, dark winged ones, if you take my gist, who
The ones who are
uh,
fond of cheese.
Diego kind of looks blank, but then shrugs and goes, "Sure."
The ones from the cheese park, no?
Oh yeah, right. Okay, yeah, yes, those. Sorry, that was a player brain fart. In any event, they had this object, and someone liberated it from them. They aren't happy. Uh, my efforts for you, fortunately, dovetail with my efforts for them, which got us into the city in a peaceful manner. I've been tasked with finding it for them, and should I fail in this task, then they're going to start working on the officer corps, probably starting with you and working their way outward from there.
To assassinate us, you mean?
And it is their usual modus of operandi. So you need to be prepared to make a pitch to this organization as well if you want the chalice.
Here's a silly question, but humor me, if you will, for an instant. You know where these people are, correct?
Hmm.
Why don't we simply eliminate them?
Well, knowing where they are and knowing who they are two different things. And I get the sense from my brief exposure to the city is that uh, I might be able to know where their headquarters are, but I don't think it would matter. This doesn't appear to be a cut off the head and the body dies kind of organization, but more like cut off the head and then there's somebody else, and if you cut off that head, then there's somebody else, and so on. And they also, I've seen their people in every part of the city. We start moving against them, then it won't just be the Seabreeze Cove uh, organization, but the entire organization. And this war becomes less about battlefields and more about midnight visits to sleeping officers and uh, urban warfare.
So what do you propose? That I promise to buy the artifact off them?
if you
sure.
want,
I'm sure they won't just be willing to part with such a holy relic for a couple of,
Right.
sovereigns.
But there are deals to be made here. It might, they might like a advisor
ally.
or having the ear of someone high placed in the Ten Isles, let's say. So I think there's probably a deal to be made here eventually. But first, I've got to find the thing and return it, and then we can see if we can make a deal. But it's something you should be chewing on.
Oh, would you mind terribly if I helped you? It's been so long since I've been on a sort of roguish adventure. It brings me back to my younger days.
Diego kind of like looks at him real hard for a second and then goes, all right, just you're going to need to dial down the aristocratic kind of attitude, probably.
The door is knocked on loudly. One of the servers comes over, unlocks it, lets the guy in, and very quickly pushes the door closed again. As rain starts pouring in, the guy kind of shakes off his coat, and he loudly denounces how slow she was in opening the door, and how dare she make him wait. And it takes a sec. There's a moment where the server she's like, she looks like she's about to dress him down, and then she recognizes him with his hat off and goes, "Oh, Magistrate Iron Shield, no, we did nothing at all."
Who is
Iron
this?
Shield.
And you see, he gazes about the room, and his eyes see you two, and he swiftly kind of doffs off his outer jacket, and practically throws it at the poor lady. She kind of grabs it and tries to put it away, and he just strides over. You see a man, rather burly looking dude, stout and long bearded, and but his clothes are tailored to him, and you see that he has a some sort of ceremonial looking cudgel at his belt. It's a thing you've seen some in this part of town. Some people have those. And he strides over to your table. He unceremoniously just sits down in a chair at the chair of your table, because there's like 4 chairs to your table.
Fair
May
enough.
we help you?
Well, get me my coffee. 1 second. People start scurrying around for this guy. Yes, I think we can do each other a favor. Lucian Ironshield, magistrate of the magistrate's office, one of many, but the one that you might want to make friends with, Lieutenant Borgia and Captain McNeil, if I'm not mistaken. Yes?
Yes.
Good.
And what do you have to offer that might interest us so, Magistrate?
Well, I just got a piece of paper handed to me, and I asked a few questions what was going on at the magistrate's office with men kicking down doors and such. And I've learned that you are looking for something, or demanding certain laws are put back into place. Your Emperor's Continental system, yes?
The very same. The only good continental system.
I don't know if there's another one, Captain, but maybe there's one in the Ten Isles. Islander system, perhaps. But I'm sure that you have come to learn that the laws of Seabreeze Cove harken back to Imperium, ancient and grand, a fine tradition, but one that a layman from afar may not truly understand.
Cut to the chase, Magistrate, if you will.
Well, thank you for the coffee. Now go away. Scurries off. When he drinks at the coffee,
Or just kind of frowning at the way he's treating the waitress.
You can smell there's a hint of liquor in his
Booze.
coffee. And it's a heavy pour. You can smell it. It's like,
We call that Strathcliffe coffee where I come from.
you use it to depaint the hull.
Yeah, it's like turpentine.
You put that in your coffee? Well, not all of it, because then you die.
Yes. How? Cut to the chase, Magistrate Ironshield.
Well, the chief magistrate is a good woman, and she'll do everything within the bounds of law and tradition to help you. You'll be at it for the next month. There'll be a court, and there'll be appeal, then there'll be a rehearing, then a secondary hearing, and then there's the town hall and variety of other things, especially if other magistrates raise objections on points of law. But I am a skilled and respected jurist and advocate of Seabreeze law, indeed Vitlulian law, and I find myself feeling grateful for a change of pace in Seabreeze. I doubt that the good chief magistrate just suddenly came to her senses that we need to be an independent town and not fight Gallia. Some people frown that he's saying this rather loudly because not everyone's pleased with it, but what are they going to do? Well, as an independent city, we can make our own destiny. And why not enrich ourselves in the process?
What do you want?
I want
To become the next chief magistrate?
Oh, I'll do that on my own, with your help. I can see that your bill in passage is unassailed by lesser jurists. I can even bend the ear of the chief magistrate and represent your interests, and in fact, your emperor's interests. Of course, nothing in Seabreeze is free, so I would expect compensation and consideration for my services to the Empire of Gallia.
Name your price.
Well, he leans back in his chair, sips away at his coffee. Gold to be a good start. A title of some kind in the Empire.
The Emperor's pockets are bountiful, but I need a number, Magistrate.
Give me communication bargaining.
Okay.
Make sure he doesn't give you a silly number.
He's a silly little Billy anyway. 12? Ugh, that's a nasty roll.
I roll back because he will wants to do a big number. 8. Unless he has a ridiculous number to call back to you, I don't think he's gonna beat. Well, let's check.
He needs a 4 in comms anyway, so if we tie, then we tie.
Yeah, he would need a 4 plus a focus to beat you, sort of thing. Tie is not as interesting right now. Yeah, so even if we do. Ooh, actually. Currently he is beating you because his challenge die is 3, not 1. He is tied with you.
Oh, well, I can't do anything about it.
Someone could try to assist you. He doesn't have to, but he can.
Diego assist.
He doesn't have to. I'm not his mom.
All right. But he could, in theory.
In theory, yes. In theory, we could raise this entire city to the ground and salt the earth so that nothing may ever grow on it ever again.
What? How much is he beating you by?
By 0, we're tied, but his stunt die is better.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So we're doing communications?
Yep. Bargaining if you have it.
I do not. I've got persuasion and leadership. Either
I'll,
of those.
I'll let you lean into persuasion because you're assisting with this.
Okay.
You're able
15
to
was
add that
4.
+1, so you're able to break the tie.
Okay.
It like there's a good bit where it looks like there's a bit of Wenelani bargaining that you kind of catch off of Iron Shield. Like he's not Wenelani himself, but he's learned a thing or two about a thing or two, so you kind of catch on pretty quick, and you're able to kind of signal to your uncle, hey, he's trying to talk up the number, and very quickly he catches on, and he brings his number to a more reasonable amount. How much gold does he say? I'm glad you asked. Well, actually, he says silver. I keep saying gold because I'm used to other games that are gold centric. Fantasy Age is silver centric.
Well, how many sovereigns would you like, good sir?
2 heads, 3 heads. Take the whole darn continent.
Not those kind of sovereigns.
That's not
Sorry, golden guineas. Yeah, how many golden guineas would you like?
Was gonna go abundant. He's gonna go substantial instead. $700 silver. Or
And
70
a
sovereigns.
minor title, you said?
Yes, I think Seabees Cove needs to step away from the magistrate system and embrace the Gallian new feudal system. And a baron of Seabees Cove may be more appropriate.
A baron. I see. Okay, let's step out of character real quick for a second here. So, Leslie, thoughts? This guy is scummy as hell, and I'm thinking if he's gonna be scummy to us, let's be scummy to him. Let's agree, but let's, not pay him immediately. Let him do his part of the deed, and then we'll screw him over. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, I mean, it's always been a kind of running philosophy of mine that you can tell what a person is really like by how they treat the wait staff. And
oh yeah, this guy is scum. That's for damn sure.
yeah, we
The
can't
question
trust
is,
this guy any
how do we
farther than
deal
we
with
can.
him? Do
Yeah,
we
we
do we
can't
want to
trust.
like tell him to screw off like immediately, or do we want to play along until he does what we want and then tell
He's
him to fuck off?
he's a bad enemy to have because he can probably throw a monkey wrench in getting done what we need to get done, but he's not somebody we can trust any farther than we can throw him.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, yeah, we pay him off for his help. Remind him that he said he could become the next chief magistrate on his own, and that until that happens, there's no way that the emperor is going to consider a title.
But
that
here's also an idea. We double cross him and tell the current chief magistrate of this guy's shady dealings in the hopes that, she'll put him under investigative prison once everything is done.
that's a possibility, but let's not lock in on that yet, because from the way the waitress is acting in the face of him, this is a guy with some sort of pull, so we don't know enough about him yet to just immediately double cross him. So yeah, I'd say, yeah, pay him off because he can help us. Let's not make an enemy out of him, but remind him that he's going to have to get the chief magistracy by himself. But at which point we will support a
Praxis seizure.
support a move for a title.
Right.
But he's going to need to prove to us and the emperor that he's got the political capability to get to the main leadership position on his own before we can do anything about that. But he helps us, we'll scratch his back, and then when we know more, we can know how to handle him later if necessary.
Okay.
That'd be my suggestion anyway. But
yeah, that sounds like a plan. Very well, Magistrate Iron Shield, but under one condition.
Sips his coffee at you.
Payment rendered after services.
for the GM's knowledge, are you trying to deceive him?
Well, I'm telling him he'll get paid after he performs his duty. That's, well, whether I intend to pay him or not, that's another thing, but he probably will be
Deception, communication.
he probably will be paid afterwards. 16
That was important yesterday. 16 is
with
good.
5 stun points, yeah.
16 is good.
With
What
5
is
stun
this?
points.
Is his perception that good? His communication's better than his perception. I doubt he made it, but it's worth checking. Doubt. Second best thing. There it is. No, I need perception, not intelligence. Okay. You beat him.
I'll spend the 5 stun points to. I'm trying to decide between undermine and manipulate. What do you think, Hensley?
You're looking at stunt point spins.
Yeah, on
I'd
the
say
social.
manipulate at this point because we're trying to get him to do what we want, and we're not really.
But there isn't anything outrageous or insidious about my manners. I think, anyways.
Well, but I mean, we're manipulating him to A, agree to let him pay us later, and B, do
And
what we want.
maybe he can get going right away if he wants those 70 sovereigns, you know?
So, yeah. So I would
Yeah,
say manipulate.
I'll
Part of
spend
it maybe
5 points.
I would actually say it's more insidious manner. Like you're hinting with body language and tone that wink wink nudge nudge. It's like no, you're totally pulling his chain here. He doesn't realize it because he's seeing the prize rather than the whip that's over his head.
Okay, yes, I will do a manipulate then.
Very good.
So with a, subtle message like, if you want the money, chop chop.
Get me my coat! And he stands up. He swigs back the coffee, which is not a thing you do with coffee generally. Slams it down, which upsets a few of the patrons. His coat is delivered to him, and he pulls it on rapidly, and out the door he goes. And the waitress very gladly locks the door behind him.
Has this city always been filled with rogues and knaves, or is it just today that we've arrived on a special day?
What city isn't? Fine, we lived in LaSalle.
You should try visiting Streathcliff once in a while. It's quite quaint. The countryside, farmers, and sheep. And a few hardy warriors.
Diego will motion over to the waitress, and I'm assuming like a silver piece would be a huge tip, right?
It's a pretty good tip, yeah.
Pretty good. I mean, okay, I want because I'm gonna.
Copper's normal, silver is nice.
Okay.
But that's how much you might pay for a really good bag of coffee. So, pretty good. It's a pretty good tip.
Okay. So.
Gold is kind of ridiculous, so it's one of those.
Right. So Diego will. I mean, I'm guessing my tab comes to a few copper, right?
Yeah, a few coppers. You're just having coffees and a sandwich. So you probably spent a silver and a couple copper without going into your actual.
Okay, cool.
Hard
so
funds.
Yeah, I'll put down the payment for that. Well, actually, I'm going to stay and have another cup of coffee. I'll order another cup of coffee, and I'll put like 2 silver, on the table for and for I said for your service to us, and I'll add a third one, and for that thing's attitude. Why do you put up with it?
Give me communication. You get +1 because you did give her a pretty nice tip. You're being nice about it.
Persuasion? Or
yeah, I'll take persuasion.
Okay. Dang it. Okay, this is information I think we need, unless 10 is going to do it.
Can I help you out?
You can try, yeah.
Etiquette?
Yeah. Yeah, +1 at least.
There's that.
So that brings you up to 11 with the +1 you gave me.
Does 11 make it? Not. Oh, it does. Because. Yeah, Won't be. You're not saying something too untoward. She isn't, rather. Yeah, no, that'll work.
Okay.
So you do get 2 stump points off it.
Oh, okay. Social. There they are. Okay. I'm going to spend those 2 on crowd appeal, so that there's someone else in here who kind of hears me ask that question and sees me being nice to this waitress after she was treated so badly, so that maybe there's another source of information about this guy that'll come forward.
One of the patrons or the person who runs the place?
Either, just someone who's overheard that, is in a position to
What's
overhear
your communication?
My communication is 2.
2. You actually could get the owner, because they'll know more. So.
Okay, yeah.
Because credit appeal depends on their your communication versus their willpower. But tying up,
Right.
the owner would chime in, and I presume you choose him over some random patron who doesn't.
Yeah.
So the waitress kind of hems and haws a little bit. She looks at the coins, and then eventually, seeing her dismay and overhearing your question, the proprietor says, "The magistrate is responsible for a lot of our writs of trade here on the south side. So unless we want to take up trade in Northgate, or up in the West Docks, in the Moon Docks, it's good to be on the Iron Shield, the magistrate's good graces." Not that he does anything direct, mind, but he is very. I think the only people who don't tip their hat to him is the folks in Cheese Park. But they've always been fairly old money. People nod at that.
Diego will kind of chuckle knowingly.
And we
Still.
are one of the more prestigious coffee houses in the Summer Ward, so he comes here quite often.
Still. Seems a shame to treat working people like that. Well, but thanks for the information and for the coffee and sandwich. It's quite good.
The proprietor kind of comes around the counter as she nods her head at you in thanks and pockets the coins quickly. The proprietor comes around. Ostensibly, it looks like he's just coming by to top off your teas, just as a nice little "here you go, have a free top up on me" sort of thing.
Right.
You do see that he kind of places something on he puts like one free hand down on the table to kind of balance himself, but he lifts his hand in just the way that he's revealing something that's hidden there, so only you two can see. And you notice he has, you see a tricolor cockade in circular pleats of blue, white, and gold. And he very quickly puts his hand back down, and then he finishes pouring the cup.
What the hell was that? What is that? Can we tell?
That's the sign of the revolutionaries.
Oh. I see. Well, we're not on speaking terms.
I think Diego actually is.
Well, sorry for the unpleasantness, but you want any honey? I can see extra honey for your teas, or perhaps a small dessert.
Some eclairs would be nice, thank you.
I couldn't really do you much in the eclairs, but I can get you a nice honey tart.
That will do as well.
And you, sir?
The sandwich just filled me up, but I could definitely use another cup of coffee, black. And
certainly.
Yeah.
So, given any thought to what I said before the man walked in? Every good thief needs a face, so to speak. It's been a while since I've went on a romp.
Sure. Honestly, I could probably use the help parsing through some of this. And I slide some of the papers over and see if Cormac can help me reach whatever target number I'm struggling for. I'm currently at 8.
Put aside the military ranks for now. We're off duty. Understood?
Mm.
Good. So, as one fellow thief to another, what are you looking for? Specifically in these maps.
Well, the owner of the island provided me, this is the information I got from them about the theft and what they've managed to find out so far. I've managed to somewhat narrow down the search area to only half the city, but beyond that, I'm trying to figure out something, see if I've overlooked any clues or paths to maybe give us a better starting point.
Well, let me see what I can make of it. I'll take a look at the thing.
Intelligence by the sound of it.
14.
14 will do it. Adds 5.
There you go.
Is 13 total. And Diego will look through his half again. Character. Valencia. Ooh, no, Diego's not finding anything this round.
You've gotten to the point that you've narrowed down that if someone were to grab it from out of Cheese Park and thieve it, they would have to. They only have. That they can't really cross the river here without being noted. Like, Borgia knows this.
Right.
Knows that you can't really go along here without either a guard seeing you. If a guard doesn't see you, the folks at Cheese Park will. So, yeah, you can't cross here. So you have to cross one of the main bridges. This is a main, like, very visible bridge.
Mm-hmm.
The big bridge across the river. So, and it's where lots of dock people come and go. So it's very easy to be seen. So you're unlikely to see someone go here and then the minute you cross, you'd want to hide almost immediately. You wouldn't want to go all the way to the gate because that's a lot of time to be monkeying around with a stolen item. So you'd want to cross the river and be done with it. So they're probably somewhere here.
Gets them close enough to the docks to smuggle out.
Yeah. So any of those neighborhoods are the most likely neighborhoods. Collection of buildings are likely where they are.
Well, is there anything more that we can parse from this document, do you think? Or do you think we need to go do field work, Diego?
Let's give them one more overview, see if we can learn anything else from them.
You find that the papers don't seem to be enough to... The papers on their own don't seem to be enough to help narrow it down from those three. That's kind of where their investigation kind of got halted. So you've caught up to where they are. Now it's a matter of figuring out which of those three it is, which it's kind of hard for you because you're not from Seabreeze, so you can't recall. You don't know. You know that whole section is called Northgate, but you don't know. Like, that Northgate is as big as Lysel was, is bigger than Lysel was.
Right.
So it's like, cool. It's one of 3 parts of Lysel, okay? But I don't know which part of that is important and not important. I don't know the shops that are there, the history or lack thereof.
Well, here's an idea. Can we ask the bartender, like, hey, do you have a local map with, like, landmarks or something marked? But I mean, like, not like districts like we have right here, but one with landmarks? We're looking to see what's perhaps in these 3 quarters of town, if there's anything important.
Give me communication investigation with the man as you're trying to explain to him what you're looking for. Well, not exactly what you're looking for, but you're trying to learn more about those areas.
16 with 1 stone point?
16 easily does it. You have 1 stone point to spend.
I'll fizzle it out.
Impress.
Can I do a combat stunt for boost that if Diego... Actually, I'll assist. If Diego does a thing next, he'll have a +1. I'll assist, yeah.
Okay.
That will add 1 to your total, so that actually becomes 14, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Those 3 bits, well, I don't have any sort of map or anything, but I can tell you, this
Perhaps
is where a lot of the folks in a lot of the people in the docks go to live. So that's a pretty old bit of town. Uh, that whole area is really, but lots of people help build the bridge, work on the moon docks, and so on. Some of them even work in the west docks, believe it or not. As for those other areas you're talking about, they're a bit. They're older, but they're older in that. I don't think a gentleman like yourself really should be going there, to be honest. Even with your rifle, some people get a little brave and dumb when they cross the river from Summer Ward. We just that part of Northgate. There wasn't that bridge you see there. That's a very recent addition. We were very. The only way to get around was to go all the way around to get to us. Now we're like right there. That's mainly for servants to come and go and stuff like that. But it's if anyone's gonna see your purse a little lighter, that's usually where you'd go. So, but if you want cheap labor. You see, the waitress kind of seemed a little uncomfortable with his characterization of that particular neighborhood because he probably lives there.
Do you know any sort of antique shops or artifact collectors who reside in those parts?
Are you asking him or me?
Him.
Do you know any antiquers there? Gentlemen like yourself, you'd only really either here in the Summer Ward or maybe South Dock. Cheese Park seems more your taste, sir.
And sounds like maybe good comrades in all three areas, although perhaps some with a bit more skills to the north.
By the way, Borja, are you wearing your pin at the moment? Your fraternity pin?
Yeah.
He gives the pin a look. He looks at you.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much it's a wash. If it's a communication check, I'm -3, +3. If it's just like my general reputation among revolutionaries, it's +3.
Yeah. He gives it a look, and he doesn't seem to. There's a sense of wariness, but you're not. You seem to be the sort who isn't holding himself like a militarist around him. You're not lording over the radical, as it were.
Right.
Thank you, sir. We'll try and figure something out. So, here you go.
Carries on.
Okay.
Up north, over there, doesn't seem to be our target. Perhaps those two districts in the southeast, if my readings are correct. Those over the bridge, right there.
Mm-hmm. Possible.
What do you reckon? Some field reconnaissance?
Perhaps.
Crack! There's a loud boom, and the rain gets even heavier.
But I
will
we'd
need
wait
a
until
raincoat.
It dries out.
Oh, don't be silly. It's called wet works for a reason, Diego.
Do you remember in LaSalle when where's LaSalle was kind of in the south, so LaSalle when a sou'wester would drive in, and that was when you boarded up the house and just laid low and drank wine in front of a nice cozy fire. Same thing here.
But we are far from home, nephew, and we are seeking something quite important. Do you know what also happens when a southwesterly like this blows? People don't look at other strangers.
A horse goes galloping by the window, and some people are racing after it.
It's the perfect color.
Well, there's also not many people out and about in it to talk to.
Well, we only need to do a bit of investigation. Now, come on, don't be a Nancy. Let's go. You're not made of paper.
What the War Office says.
I'll stand up and look at Diego. Or was I confused? Did the Emperor hand me a paper soldier?
I thought we were off duty, Uncle.
Rise, nephew, and prove to me that you are not made out of paper.
I think I proved that more than enough, particularly when I stood there and took your cane across my face earlier. I say we wait for the weather to slacken.
Game of dice then while we wait?
You know I don't gamble. I never developed the skill for it.
Hmm. Anyone else in here that wants to gamble?
I'll be right back. I'm gonna step away from the computer for a second. Get myself some fresh water because I've just been drinking coffee this whole time.
Okay, I'll take a bathroom break real quick as well then.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Back after a short break. To hydrate and other such. I have returned, gentlefolk. They don't hear me yet. But you do. Yeah, I was really expecting them to go full hog and do terrible things to that poor place. So I'm glad they pulled back from the brink. I'm glad they decided to do nice things. Well, all right. They should be back by now, I think. So let's say hi to them. Hello.
Hello. So
We
yes,
we have a plan of action. Go ahead.
yes, realizing that I'm going to have to go out in the rain because Diego needs to find his troops and help them and Safwan get everything secured and make sure nothing horses and draft animals and stuff don't go running off in the rain, and also to reinforce that I'm still their lieutenant and still in the middle of everything with them and all that good stuff. So Diego's going to put his slouch hat on his head instead of the shako to give him a little bit of protection from the rain before he can get back to where hopefully he's got a rain cloak, and go out and organize the troops and help make sure all of our supplies, equipment, gunpowder is safe and dry and workable. I will put the the treated leather covers over the hammer and frizzen and barrel of my rifle and pistol before I head out to try and keep the powder dry, as it were.
And Cormac, in the meantime, will ask the bartender for a rain cloak if he has one, like a big one, the one that covers your entire body. And he's going to go do some espionage while Diego's out. And I think we can agree to meet sometime, like maybe, I don't know, 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, somewhere once we find out something.
How about back here at this coffee shop?
In about 2 hours, okay?
Okay.
Good.
For the rain cloak, he'll sell you one. One of his. He'll just buy a new one. 3 silver.
And how about, as well as that, are he and I almost the same body type or body size?
He's a bit bigger than you are, but not by much.
How about a fresh change of clothes as well, and I'll make it 10 silver.
Sure.
Good.
He'll take that.
You have a deal. Alright. Have somewhere I can change real quick?
He directs someone to show you his upstairs where he lives, so you can change up there.
Okay, and I'll change into his very normal clothes and put my nice clothes into a knapsack. And sling it over my shoulder, or underneath my rain cloak, and head out.
You're heading to cross the river.
Yep.
Diego Borgia, give me intelligence military lore to get your get the unit in order.
Okie dokie.
You get +1 because Safon's going to help you. He's a militarist.
Okay.
Even if he was cross with you earlier, you did fix the problem.
Yeah, young lieutenants can get in trouble sometimes. It's okay.
Yeah.
So 13.
13 will do it. It's a pretty straightforward thing. Even the Lacellian militia had to deal with rainstorms sometimes. So.
Right, but your officer needs to be out there.
Make sure
Taking
people are doing what
charge
they're supposed to do.
Right, and also being in the middle of the nasty weather with them.
To it, give me Constitution Stamina. See if the weather beats you down. It is pretty tough. I will say you would have had the damage you had from earlier from McNeil. Some of that would have healed because you've been sitting around in a coffee shop for a while. So that actually counts as a short rest. So some of I think all of your HP would have come back by now because you only had 6, 5.
6, yeah. Let's see, what do I... So is that a light rest? Have I been in there for 3 hours?
About 2, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So breather then. 5 plus Constitution plus level, yeah. So that would be back up to my max at 36 without even for a breather. Okay. Constitution, right? Don't have any sort of bonus there. 13.
13 will reduce it. You have 3 stump points. You're looking at just 3 damage of just being cold and wet and miserable, and something bangs into your shin because of the high winds, or some horse backs up a little too brusquely at you, and you have to wrestle it back under control. So you're a bit roughed up, but you're fine. Otherwise, that could have been way worse if you weren't tougher. If you were of fainter heart.
Okay. So could I reduce that somewhat from the fact that I had that high dollar, very durable fatigue uniform? It's not a dress uniform. It's just I spent the money to have really good durable uniform and boots and whatever, or add one to my roll, whatever.
I'll shave off a damage.
Okay. And I got 3. So I'll spend 3 on pay attention. Just because of the last sentence where if you're pursuing investigation, you gain an additional lead. Mm-hmm. So while I'm doing all that and moving around the city and getting horses under shelter and cannon under shelter, whatever, just kind of paying attention.
You happen to notice in the hustle and bustle that there is talk of you see some people coming and going from a house next to the magistrate's office.
Mm-hmm.
And you overhear someone else ask, so you don't look like a person investigating. It's just one of your own soldiers
Right.
chatting. And one of them asks, "Whose house is that?" So, "Oh, that one. Oh, that's the ambassador to the Ten Isles, Seaforth's house." They get their own house. That's pretty impressive. Oh, must have been here a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the pay attention part of it is that's given the weather, everyone else is getting indoors and battening down. Like they're getting ready for the storm. This is the beginning of the storm. It's only gonna get worse overnight. Like it's gonna
Right.
suck all night. It's probably gonna be still here. It's gonna be tapering even pretty badly in the morning. That's assuming it does what it normally does.
Right.
So
So it
most
was
people wouldn't be. You guys are out here because your horses are out here. You wouldn't be out here if you didn't have to be. But there's horses and
right.
cannon and powder and all this stuff you need to worry about. And people were doing stuff, and now they get back out here. So everyone with any sense, and it's even as a Vitlulian and a Lyselian, yeah, that makes sense. These people, the people of Seabreeze, are doing the same thing you would do back in Lysel. But these
Right.
folk coming out of the ambassador's office, they're very active for a place that should be battening down.
Okay. What'd you say the ambassador's name was again?
Reese Seaforth.
And what are these people doing exactly?
Perception seeing or intelligence, the relevant lore, but I don't think yet.
I don't
It
think
wouldn't
so
be
either.
military lore. It'd be something else. It'd be like heraldry.
I'm just taking my scouting, but I haven't got it to the level where you get a bonus, a reroll on perception. So just straight up perception. 18.
18 will do it. They seem to be packing discreetly, but it's like they're packing up the house to get ready to leave, and they're packing it up rapidly, but discreetly, using the staff and specifically using the ambassadorial staff rather than locals or the gendarme or anything like that. And they're definitely not letting they're definitely been shooing away any of your soldiers from going in there.
Right.
Which they don't really care that much. It's like, whatever, we're not staying in there anyway. I just happen to walk by. Like, actually, you even notice that some of them, when they walk by the house, like, shoot, shoot, shoot. It's like, all right, I'm not going over there. Leave me alone.
All right.
I'm dealing with my horses. Go away.
Okay. So I'm going to spend 3 of those stump points on extra information and um, two left. And then 2 on insight. Like extra information, is there anything that they're handling particularly super carefully and really keeping an eye on as they're packing, or just or whatever you want to give me? Honestly, it's extra information.
You overhear that something along the lines of, "I don't care. We set sail by morn." Something like that. It's hard to hear it clearly in the rain and the hustle and bustle, but you hear that.
Okay. Okay, so basically they're packing up, kind of short-staffed in the middle of bad weather, and a bunch of other stuff going on, trying to be discreet. So this seems like a perfect opportunity to maybe snag a small chest or satchel of papers or something that look like they might be important. Worse, for all I know, they might have the chalice, but
We'll cut to that as a moment as you start plotting your thievery. As Cormac McNeil crosses the short bridge,
Mhm.
one of the short bridges. Yeah, this one is unlike the long one you paraded across. This is very narrow. It's packed with like lots of boxes and barrels and stuff that kind of been. Some people are even fishing off the darn thing. You're not entirely sure they're supposed to be doing that.
In this weather, damn.
Yeah. Well, I suppose in this weather, there's a guy there looks like there's spots where like 3 other guys would be fishing. There's one guy who's like, nah, I'm gonna stay here and fish anyway.
The stubborn old man who just keeps fishing.
I'll be fine. The boxes will protect me. Like that's okay. Well, the box starts flying. But give me perception seeing as you start crossing the river and entering into Northgate.
That's a 9. This bad weather's in my eyes.
Don't worry about it. So yeah, you cross over to Northgate. Yeah, you go from very nice, commercial middle class bourgeois housing and stores and such, and then you're in the much more densely packed and overpopulated buildings of Southeast Northgate. The bridge is the nicest thing. Is the last nice thing you see as you start entering into this bit of street. A few people give you looks. They don't give you the look of what's a galleon officer doing here, but you are dressed as a. You gain attention by sheer fact that you are dressed up as a summer ward tradesperson of some kind. So you do look bourgeois, not common, but that's not wholly unusual. And being a Tin Islander itself, you gather, seems to be not wholly unusual either.
Is this more like a shantytown area?
No, it's poor.
It's poor, okay.
These are real buildings. They're real brick. They're real glass, but, they're the same wood, stone, and glass that's been here for a little over a century or so,
Well, Diego gave me the rundown of everything. Through this pouring rain while it's stinging my eyes, I'm gonna see if I can try and catch something which, I don't know, may seem like it holds a clue. An antique shop, suspicious people talking about something. If I can overhear a conversation somewhere, I'll try to slink into somewhere and see if I can activate those things that I heard, Tin Islanders spies often do,
Give me dexterity stealth.
I didn't say I was a great spy.
Yeah, on the raw roll they got you. You start milling around. People kind of conversations stop when you'll go up to a spot and kind of try to act casual as people are battening things down and doing things, and they give you a look, and then they look at your outfit and they kind of go, you say, we better get back to what we're doing, and they find a reason to pick up whatever it is they're lifting and take it somewhere else. People are being wary around you. Less treating you as a gendarme and more treating you like you're a boss or supervisor type person who might get them in trouble. So they're trying to look busy and doing stuff so you don't yell at them or get in their way or anything of the sort. At which point, perception seeing.
Okay. 11.
I have one left if you wind up needing one. Just put it out there.
If I wind up needing one, not right now. I hope.
You, just in time, happen to notice that you've picked up a bit of a tail. Big tail with thick arms.
No
There's more than one of it.
Is it a cat?
Unfortunately, no. It's on 2 legs, and it eats its bread every Sunday.
The 9-tailed fox, you're doomed.
Oh no. Okay, well, upon noticing that I have a tail, I'll quickly duck away into an alleyway, and with the rain, using the rain as my cover, I'll try to slip away. If I can, I'll find a place where there's like lots of mud, where I can leave my footprints, and I'll leave footprints going in one direction, and then, if I can, hop over to somewhere else and proceed over that way.
Dex stealth.
10? Any bonus from the rain?
You go through the efforts, and you find that you've lost at least one of them.
Mhm.
So good job so far. You hop over a fence, and you find someone waiting for you on the other side.
Oh. Okay. I'll
Hey,
try and look
mister,
at...
how much
Oh.
sovereign you got? Yeah. You must have a bit of silver. Come on, do a bit of charity in Solar's name, huh?
Are they talking to me in trade?
Oh, they are.
I'll speak to them in Tin Islander.
We roll
I'll say
initiative now.
something. Yeah, I'll say something in Tin Islander.
We're fighting now.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Initiative. 15. Woo!
Let's draw out. What the? I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to
Ooh,
square.
that's a...
There we go. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. I'll square rectangle. Oh, actually, I have a thing for this. I probably won't take that. I have to roll for them. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. Please don't have initiative as a thing. As one of your guys' thing. Don't be super fast. I don't. Well. You are tied, but your stunt die is higher.
Haha.
You are the first to move in initiative.
Give me the realistic odds. How well can I, an aging man, stand against these two youngsters that want to kill me?
I'll give you. This won't take your turn. I'll give you a perception roll here. See if you can get a good gauge of these guys.
The rain is really in my eyes, man.
It is. Maybe they're really scrawny. Maybe it's all fluff, or maybe they're built like circus strongmen. It's hard to tell. You're in someone's backyard. You jump the fence and kind of tired. Your bones ache. But then again, maybe your heart rate's up so you can fight. You're not sure.
Okay. Can I take like a free action to do an evaluation of them? Like I have
just
my
did.
cane with me. That I just did. I mean, like intelligence evaluation? No, that's more like for value of things, right?
Yeah.
Oh dearie me. Okay. Well, let's give it a good old college try, I guess. I'm gonna flip my cloak aside and, reveal my white ivory cane. And I'm gonna try strike, I don't know, the left one, right where it hurts in the family jewels.
Very good.
That goes under accuracy because it's a staff, as
Yes.
we have figured out. Here, 13 with 3 stump points.
13 hits.
With 3 stump points, I'm going to take a lightning attack.
Baff, baff. Could be the same
Yeah,
person or it could be the other guy.
Same person, also in the family jewels.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll you 2d6 right away.
Just get the damage out of the way.
8 damage.
Plus your strength, so 9.
9, yep.
Whack. It doesn't go down immediately from that. He notices. Don't get me wrong. He notices.
I didn't expect it, but you know.
Give me another swing to hit him.
Oh, is he not attacking me?
You
I thought it
lightning
was
attacked.
Declan.
You have to swing to hit him again.
Oh no. Oh, okay, then sorry. Take the first damage was 6 plus 1, then 7, because I rolled damage twice. Sorry, I'll go hit him again. Hang on.
Okay.
15?
That definitely hits.
Yeah, okay. I'll roll a d6 again. Or do you want to take the d6 that I've already rolled,
I'll
which
just
is
take the
2?
one. So that's 3 actually. So there you go.
3, yeah.
That worked out better for you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he is not happy. You get 2 nice connects in there, and oh boy, that took the air right out of him. He's mighty angry with you.
Well, bully for him.
As he decides to, well, he was just gonna punch you up a bunch, but now he's gonna draw his dagger and try to stab you. He's mad.
Well,
that hurt. That hurt a lot.
What a guy. What a guy. Come on. 13 hits, yes.
17.
What? Yeah, that hits. I was gonna take defensive stance, but I was like, nah.
Six damage.
Yep. I'll note it down. Hang on.
Stab. The other guy tries to notices his friend is pulled steel, and you're clubbing his friend with your cane, so he takes his dagger out and he's gonna stab you.
Mm-hmm.
15.
It's, yeah.
No stub points. 5 damage.
Yep.
Stab. Rolls back to you.
Yeah, we'll try and repeat the thing again. The one that's already wounded, he gets another cane thwack. 12 with
Yep.
3 stun points?
Hits him.
Okay. I'm not gonna do defensive stance because God Almighty, that will not work against these people. Lightning attack again.
Okay.
So let's see if I hit. 16.
That should hit. Yep.
First damage is 3,
3 will drop the guy in front of you.
and I guess 4 on the other guy then.
4 on the other guy. I have to ask, because you've now defeated your opponent. The first one of them anyway. You get to choose
How?
death,
They
maim,
are
or
defeated.
unconscious. I believe it is.
Unconscious.
Thwack. And he crumples
not
to the ground,
murder.
groaning into the floor.
Yep.
In the mud, rather, because you're fighting in someone's backyard, and whoever's living in here, they're staying the hell out of this.
And like I said, the other guy takes 4 damage.
Thwack, and he kind of turns his leg into it a bit because he kind of sees it coming, but that's gonna hurt. An ivory cane colliding with your thigh at high speed, that does not feel good.
Yep.
At
All
which
right.
point-
Hit me with your best shot.
No.
That hits whatever it is. Oh no. 3 damage?
3. Stab. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. 3 damage to you.
Okay, I'll thwack him again, or try to thwack him.
Okay. That hits.
16 with 4 stun points. Sure. Another lightning attack, and actually, can I disarm him? Yeah, 2 to disarm, and another 2 to knock prone.
Okay. Give me another attack roll. He has to oppose your attack roll to see if he loses his knife as he goes down.
16.
18. Thankfully, I don't get those stunt dice. That would have been bad.
Okay, now can I try and knock him prone as well?
Yep. There's no test for that. I don't think. No, he just.
No, there is.
Oh, wait, there is.
There
Yeah,
is.
never mind.
Also an opposed attack roll, so I hope I roll better. I failed to disarm him, but I'm gonna try and knock him off his feet.
8.
10.
You knock him off his feet.
And here's the damage. He takes 6 damage.
Ouch. He's still moving on the ground. He kind of as you try to trip him at his ankle, and his foot slides, which doesn't knock him over, but does put him out of position. So you try to wrestle the knife away from him. He kind of flicks it at you, and you kind of back off, and then clobber him in the nose. He just kind of rocks back for a second as ow.
His turn.
Yeah, he's totally gonna stab you. Real
On
mad.
ground.
Oh, that's right. You did knock him down.
I did knock him down.
Oh. He'll eat half his movement getting up.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll try to stab you.
Mm-hmm.
Attacking you from the ground's a bad idea for him. I'm rolling no stun points, seriously.
Hits, whatever it is, it
Hits.
hits, yeah. 7, 8 damage, I think.
8 damage, yep. Stab.
Okay, let's finish this guy off. 13 with 5 stun points.
Yep.
Lethal blow.
Fair enough, yeah.
I'll roll 3d6 for you right away.
Very good.
11.
Yeah. KO
I want
or
this guy.
dead.
I want this guy to be helpless. Is that possible? Right, so he can still converse with me. He just won't attack me back.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll make him helpless,
Kerthunk. He falls
and
to
I'll
the ground.
hold
He's
the
kind of
cane.
nursing his hand because when you clobbered at it, you kind of nailed him right on that wrist. And you felt something kind of give, and the guy crumples like he doesn't pass out, but any attempt to keep fighting you, all you have to do is kind of nudge him in the wrist, and he's like, ah.
Alright, now I'll hold the cane over him and try to speak over the rain. Now listen to me very carefully, scum, in trade.
Okay.
Where words have failed, actions must do, I suppose. There is an artifact here, a holy artifact which some goons stole. I'm sure you must know someone who knows something. Now speak. Now speak, or you and your friends will start losing digits, one by one.
Strength intimidate. You get plus. I'll give you +2 to the roll because this guy is pretty much at your mercy, but he may be too scared of the other guy.
So 16 overall.
16 overall does add 6 to the investigation. What was the number from before?
Honestly, what was
13?
the number? 14, I think. Let me see. It was somewhere back there. 14.
14 plus 6 puts you to friggin' 20. There you go. You're too late. We already sold it to some fancy pants like you.
Where?
Over in the Summer Ward, one of Seaforth's people.
Seaforth. I shall note that name down. Now you may pass out, and I'll thwack him over the head.
Dunk.
I have a significant amount of cuts on me, which is quite a shame. I don't think I'm bleeding too hard. Maybe it's some light surface bleeds, but I'll try and apply some pressure on that. Oh dear. Back to the coffee shop to see Diego.
Meanwhile, back with Diego. And you'll get breather time and healing, at least. Oh wait, no, you're gonna see him in what, 2 hours?
Yeah, in about 2 hours.
So you get
Which is a breather. 3 hours is a short rest.
Oh, there you go. Diego Borgia, I believe you're about to see about purloining some papers.
Yep, some papers, or if I see anything else, particularly with the Grail in mind, because it is a Tenolander artifact. We've already run into one group of Tenolanders looking for stuff. See if there's something that might be worth nabbing.
Intelligence. See if it's C. I just answered my question. Perception. I'm sorry.
Okay.
16.
16. Okay.
You have 6 stun points.
Cool. Then I'm going to do pay attention and extra information. Fundamentally, extra information twice.
You notice that of the bag, a lot of stuff's being moved around and packed. There's certain stuff they're not going to bother, like chairs, tables. Like, they're going to leave that. That's not worth their time. They'll just leave it here. Even if it's stuff that's there, they don't care. They're trying to get important papers and others away. There is one bag that you see a Batman kind of hanging, like a leather sort of satchel-looking thing that he's kind of holding up to his chest. He's like kind of standing outside within the eaves of the house, so he's not being rained directly on. He's kind of talking to people, letting them know to do this, move this there, but he's holding it up to his chest so he doesn't lose the package itself. The satchel itself does also seem to have the emblem of the Tin Islander of a Tin Islander ministry of some kind. You also know by that's one of the free information. The other free information is that you know from your time around McNeil back in Lumerburg that that particular ministry is the Ministry of the Crown Jewels. It's a very specific ministry meant to look after the royal artifacts.
But the bag the guy's taken is from that.
Yeah, it has that emblem on it. Like normally you'd think it'd be like an ambassadorial office or a foreign office or something like that, but this one's a very specific office that's for looking after the royal artifacts.
Okay. Okay, so sorry, I was just reading up on something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's. Oh, the storm and the horses. Oh my. Let's see if Diego can, cause a few of the horses he's trying to wrangle to, bolt over that guy, and he's in there with them trying to calm him down.
Let's go with communication leadership or intelligence military lore.
For the horses or for?
Because you're trying to make it a semi-coordinated effort where, without losing complete control of the horses.
Okay. So you said communication leadership?
Yep.
But better than. Okay, I'm going to re-roll that, I think.
Thankfully, you don't have to. That is enough. There's some concerted efforts by Safwan to hold things in order, but you've kind of muddied the water a bit. In such a way that now there's a significant enough horse play at work that you now have them kind of moving around in an erratic way. But you're still under control of them. You haven't lost them. I was doing two tests. I was testing you for a certain number to make sure the horses do what you want, and also making sure that Safwan didn't rescue wasn't too good of an officer and stopped what was happening. It's like, no, stop helping.
Right. Okay. So now when that guy's surrounded by the horses or whatever, I'm going to try and steal the,
give me Dex Stealth. You get +1 because of the commotion.
Dex Stealth +1. And yes, I do have a talent scouting that lets me re-roll a stealth test if necessary, but I have to keep the second.
Right. It's an all or nothing re-roll.
Yeah, but Dex is pretty good. 17.
Ooh, good luck, Batman. You're not that good. There's no way you can make up a 6 difference. You're not that good.
Okay, and okay.
You're able to get up to the guy. Now you need to get it out of his hands.
Okay. Really need some stunt points with this one.
Wondering if it's gonna be Dex. Oops.
There's thievery or something? Dexterity, or is that a?
That's
or is that a
leisure demand, basically, or something of that effect.
Yeah, pickpockets, basically. So yeah, dexterity.
It is a dex check, though.
Okay.
It's not stealth. He's testing with his perception again.
All right. I am going to make this a little bit more difficult on myself. I'm not just going to switch. I'm not just going to lift the bag. I'm actually going to switch it out for something similar from, one of the horses or one of my, I don't know, an ammunition pouch or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that maybe he won't immediately notice. Let's see what we got. Dexterity. I really wanted the stealth.
You got him, though. You definitely got him with that. I rolled crap. His perception's good. It's not that good. So you're able to kind of swap them around. So you kind of jostle into each other, and he shouts you out like, "Hey, get your horses in order. Get away from our building." Shoo!
Right.
And in that commotion, he kind of loosens his hands a bit enough that you're able to kind of whoop swap them around. And he's like, "Hey, watch it, you fool!" And
Right.
he starts shoving you away. And actually, you notice he shoves you with a pretty stiff arm. Like he's built. But
Fair enough.
you get the feeling that if you had failed at that, he might have taken a swing at you or two and might have hurt. But you don't have to find that out now, as you're able to come away with your ammunition pouch and you're able to get your horses back in order with Safwan's help.
Okay. And oh, now let me try this. I'd like to do Can I do a stunt action?
Well, what are you trying to do?
I'm going to try because I have a class stunt called Misdirect. Basically, I can just disappear from this guy's plain sight. Like, there wasn't anybody there.
Okay.
So basically, he doesn't know where the hell I went once he figures out what happened.
Give me dexterity stealth.
Okay.
Oh wait, you're saying it's a stunt that. Oh, you can use stunts outside of combat. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, dex stealth.
Yes.
I was talking my way out.
Yeah.
I was talking.
It's like a stunt attack is what the action is called, but it's not really an attack. I think he gets an opposed roll. Yeah.
You would, yeah. In this case, you would. Rather than defense, you're not smacking. You're
Right.
Trying to baffle. You're gonna see through it.
Okay. Will adding 2 to it work?
Let's double check. Just say yes, and then be like, "Oh wait, hold on."
Yeah, because I don't know what his bonuses might be.
Seen those stats. Silly. Those out. Decent, not great. Yeah. And then he gets. Wait, huh? He got 14.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to go for a reroll, I'm afraid. Yeah, I've made the switch. This is just trying to disappear. So, dexterity. How about a 16 with 5 stunt points?
That does it. Yep.
Okay, and so that gives me stunt points equal to the stunt die or 2 SP, whichever is more. So I got 5 stunt points, and let me look at that talent. Okay, so yeah, you can nullify the direct observation of one person for SP per SP spent with Misdirect. That's a rogue class talent. So yeah, I'm gonna get him, and I'm gonna get like the next 4 nearest people, whether they're my guys or 10 Islanders.
Okay.
So like, yeah, there's somebody in there, but
so he's actually not even shouting at you. He's shouting at some other poor trooper who's like, "What? What are you yelling at me for? Go away! I'm busy."
Right.
But you bumped into me. I'm sorry, sir. Whatever. Can I please attend to my horse before it tramples all of you?
Yeah, and then I'm going to move a little bit away in the rain and find some cover and ditch the bag and put whatever was in it into one of my pouches.
Very good.
And then come back into the melee with the horses and everything from a different direction, as if I've always been on that side of things, and keep doing my job.
I'll give you one more military intelligence roll, or communication animal handling, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, animal handling falls under
right.
Communication.
Good horsey. Nice horsey. 11 horsey.
Far more than 11 horse. Not out there. 11, yeah, you're basically stuck for the next few hours fighting these horses. Like, it's in good order, but you're kind of, yeah, these horses are getting really scared of all the storm and rain and thundering.
That's fair. It shows them what this officer's been doing the whole time. But I will try, and once things kind of calm down, leave it in the hands of the sergeants and Safwan. Tell him I have orders to meet the captain at, you know, in a few minutes once we get close to that 2-hour mark.
Thus, the two of you reconvene at the coffee shop.
Let me help me out real quick. How much do I regain? So you said it's like 5 plus something, right?
5 plus con plus level, I think.
So 5 plus 2, 7. Okay.
Let me double check that. Yeah, 5 plus 2, 5 plus constitution plus level.
My con is a 0, a healthy 0.
Hey, it's not negative.
That's
It's
right.
not negative. Okay. Yeah, so there
yeah.
I am on 16 HP. You probably see me, I'm in the coffee house drinking something warm, but you see that my face has a couple of cuts.
You're probably back in your regular clothes because you probably
Changed, yes.
Because
Yeah, Cormac comes in if there's like any kind of like awning or anything. He tries to shake off as much wet from his cloak and hat before he comes in, and then
Diego,
tries his
Diego.
best not to mess up the Diego, to mess up the entryway, and he hang things up and rubbing his hands, kind of standing before the fire. He politely orders a hot cup of black coffee.
By this point, it's turned to nighttime, I will note.
Yep.
The lamps are on. Although the lamps were on earlier because of the clouds. A lot of people have left, but the proprietor doesn't mind you two hanging about if you want. Just, if nothing else, to get out of the rain and have a warm cup.
Yep.
Not too bothered. So the server's gone. It's just him.
Yeah. Bit of a struggle, but the horses are taken care of. Powder and supplies are safe and dry and high. Should be okay.
I've found a lead, Diego.
Ooh. So once we've got the coffee and I'm a little warmed up, I'll sit down. We'll get a quiet corner table or something. And
like I said, the romps that I had earlier in my life proved to be somewhat useful after all. I was assaulted by 2 thugs, as you can clearly see from the cuts on my face, but I've managed to beat them down and find out who they sold the artifact to.
done.
The proprietor comes back and sets out a bit of alcohol and a bit of cotton, so you can kind of dab at yourself.
Ah, thank
Nice.
you.
He refills your coffees and heads on his way. As he's clean, you see him like cleaning up and putting chairs up and stuff like that.
Like I said, I found a lead.
What'd you find out?
Well,
That's
they've already sold the bloody artifact. Can you believe that? But the good news is they've sold it to a local magistrate. Was that right, GM? Was it a magistrate? It was Swift River. Was it River?
Seaforth.
Seaforth. Yeah, Magistrate Seaforth.
That's no magistrate, Uncle. That's the Tin Island ambassador, who is very quietly but very quickly packing to leave town. They plan to get out in the morning no matter what. However, let's see what some of the horses got away from me, and it appeared that one of their people dropped something. I managed to retrieve it, but by the time I looked up, of course, they were off to something else, and so let's see what I picked up.
You pickpocketed the Tin Islander ambassador.
I didn't see the ambassador. The ambassador, but
of course, you pickpocketed him by proxy then.
I didn't pickpocket anything. I found this lying around.
Of course.
So yes, what's in my baggie?
Oregano. No.
Excellent.
We snort it. We powder it up and we snort it.
Quickly, make a tomato sauce.
That's what they're calling it in the Tin Isles.
No, the Tin Isles know how to cook. Are you kidding me?
Sure they do. Meat pies and meat pies.
Specialty is haggis.
Haggis. Give me. Oh wait, well, I have to tell you what's there before you're rolling for it. You are looking at some notebooks. Lightly covered notepads and notebooks.
It doesn't look like any artifact, Diego.
Ah, well, it was in a
Well-
bag that had the seal of the Ministry for the Royal Jewels.
Well, we can't always be lucky, can't we? All right. Can you tell what they say, or are they in Tin Islander?
Good question.
They are in tin. You're right.
It's going to be up
Right.
to you, Uncle.
Hand it over. I'll see if I can. I'll start reading to him what I'm. I'll read and I'll read back to Diego what I'm reading.
Give me intelligence.
It's my native language, for the love of God.
Well, it's reading through it quickly to finding information that's useful to
15.
you. This is a much shorter version of a complex test because you're trying to find the information before too much time passes. So far, 15 gets it. It is in rather old style tin. And it's mainlander tin. It's mainlander tin, so the accent, there's a lot of like eccentricities that if you're in the capital, you'd know it, but you don't work in the capital, so you wouldn't need to know that language all that often. But you know enough to pick your way through it and puzzle out what they're talking about from context and so on.
Right.
You've been to court more than once as an ambassador, so you'd be somewhat familiar. And eventually, you're able to pick out that it seems the ambassador has. It seemed, or rather, the ambassador Seaforth was not alone. She had been in the company of agents of the crown who work for the Ministry of Artifacts of royal tin importance, and other such older-fashioned ways of saying things. And it looks as to they were here specifically to retrieve an item of great importance to island and man alike, to secure the fortunes, etc., etc., etc. In short, you find that they were looking for the artifact. They just don't say it. They don't say what the artifact is per se, but they were here and they've been here for a while looking for this thing, tracking down
And
where it
now
is.
they've got it. What's the last entry?
Give me another intelligence roll. Because maybe it's not the absolute last entry, maybe it's further back.
16 with 5 stun points.
Easily done. You get 5
Let's
stun points.
use those 5 stun points. Lethal blow. No. Swiftness.
Dies. What was that again? Sorry?
Swiftness.
With the swiftness, you say. Swiftness. Oh, there it is. I see it now. You don't use up a time increment. That is very good to know. You do beat the threshold, thankfully. You very quickly flutter to the back pages, and you very quickly are able to ascertain that the last you recall as you're fluttering to the back. Wait a minute, you know how some of these documents are. Sometimes the last page, even 3 pages, are lots of fluffery and etiquette and titles that you have to write on this or it's not legal.
Right.
So you're like, wait, no, hold on. I'm not going to the very back. Let's go. These guys sound really important. You go to like page 5, the 5th to last page or 6th to last page, just to save yourself the effort of reading through the rather dense language, shall we say. And there's a few blank pages. They didn't fill this particular book up completely, so quick flutter back more. And it would seem that they have suggested, due to the presence of Galleon forces who have come with logical intent to occupy Seabreeze, it is the opinion of this agent that the ambassador and all her staff, along with all agents of the ministry, should vacate, and the relevant finances to it are to be immediately secured from bank and to set forth a ship under whatever monies are necessary, taking into account the current weather, to leave no later than sunrise. So, in point of fact, you learn that these people are leaving before sunup. They're leaving tonight.
And do they make any mention of the artifact?
They've secured. In short, they've secured it. That's why they're leaving. Part of it is that
Right,
you're
basically.
here, but part of it is that they have the thing they're looking for, so they don't want to stay and deal with you. They just rather just leave, be gone with it.
Right.
In
So I
case
read
you take it from
everything.
them.
I read everything back to Diego. The point of the matter is, we need to act quickly. Should we secure this artifact right now? You have 2 men that you know are proficient with swords, because in this weather, I fear our guns won't work. Diego, did you blip?
No, sorry, I was muted. I said, well, it also might be time to call in some allies. This seems to me a operation calling as much or more for stealth as it does swordsmanship.
Who do you have in mind? The
Well,
Ravens?
I think we should go see about getting some new uniforms tailored. And I think now would be an excellent time to do so.
I am afraid we haven't time to get our uniforms tailored. They are on the way out of the town. Unless they
Ah,
have them ready.
well, it's just now nightfall, and they're planning to leave before dawn. So we have a bit of time.
We're going to be cutting it very short. Look, let me be frank with you. I do not plan to assault a ambassador of the Tin Isles, as that would be a direct act of warfare. But gently coercing the ambassador to give up the artifact and leave with all other possessions seems like a nice option to have.
Why not just get some allies who are really good at thieving and thieve it back from them?
Because the Allies will want it back.
It is theirs, and remember, we don't give it back to them, they start killing officers.
No, right. We are going to strike a bargain with them, but I'm also thinking, if I announce my presence to the ambassador, perhaps then, it's a sign that I will come back eventually. And I have 2 of the several pieces that I need to come back. A foreshadowing of things to come.
I mean, that's one way to approach it. And while you're talking to the ambassador, I and some friends could always try and steal the artifact.
Good. I need some soldiers that you trust, some who aren't going to be insubordinate. Some who will possibly guard me while I converse with the ambassador.
Let me pull up the thing that has the NPCs on it. Get Victory and Divino from the rifles.
Tell them that I'll promise them 20 silver apiece should they assist us tonight. And
You
keep their mouths shut about it.
promise them whatever you want. While you're going to the sergeant to detail a couple of men to go with you, I'm going to go get a uniform tailored.
Very well. Do you know where their house is?
Well, all of the troops are blah blah blah. This is where, yeah, and they're probably still wrangling horses and whatnot. But this is where the billet is, and this is where.
No. I mean, do you know where the ambassador is?
Oh yes, a house right beside the primary magistrate.
Are they there right now?
They were still loading when I came here, and that hasn't been that long ago.
We may still catch them. We may have a couple of hours of time, maybe. I'll check my pocket. I'll check my pocket watch. What time is it?
It was just dark, so it couldn't be all that late.
Autumn, so it's probably somewhere around 6, 7ish or so. I'd say 6:45.
Okay. Now listen to me, Diego. When the clock strikes 11, we meet. I'll be over at the ambassador's house. Be there, or else I might get the better end of a gun.
Oh, far enough. So Diego will leave money and tip and grab the his cloak and hat. But before he leaves, he'll kind of pull the bartender aside and say, for what it's worth, and I don't know if any of any of your friends in the struggle really care, but it seems like the Tin Island ambassador is absconding or attempting to, with the cover of the storm, with some property from Seabreeze Cove that may or may not belong to them. Just passing on some news.
What are you hoping he does?
My goal, one way or another, is to create enough obstacles of one kind or another that will kind of slow down the Ten Islanders' ability to leave, to move through the streets, to get to the docks, to whatever ship, in whatever way I can. I'm going to work on the Ravens the same way if I can get to them. But the revolutionaries might kick up a fuss against these sneaky royalists trying to break out of town with who
Give
knows
me a
what in their wagons.
communication roll. See if you can rouse him to action.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
I'm somewhat
fellas,
good.
is it okay if I just take a quick bio break?
Go for it.
Yeah, all right.
He says to you, as you kind of pull him over,
Mm-hmm.
as you start to pull away, he does actually grab you by the lapel rather firmly.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of tugs at your sword, your cross sword pin.
Uh-huh.
Is this something to do with this, or is it personal? He says quietly, as if he's afraid McNeil will overhear you.
Very quietly, I respond, both. It's part of the deal I made to make sure the city doesn't burn down because we're here. With our friends at Cheese House. Or Cheese Park, sorry.
You're looking for... I got some boys that can, who might be willing to do some good old rabble rousing.
Okay.
You want them to rabble rouse, or do you want them to thunk some heads?
I'd like to make it kind of difficult for the Ten Islanders to get to wherever they're going from the ambassador's house. Between the rain and some rabble rousing, the streets might be effectively kind of blocked. Might take them a while to get to the docks or wherever they're going.
We're all friends here, after all. He lets go of your lapel, and he kind of pats it in place, and he nods at you, and then he heads off.
Yep. And I will head towards Cheese Park and the tailor shop.
As he's pulled together some 9 guys. Sizable amount of people to cause trouble. Oop. Here, because it's not relevant at the moment. Go back to token layer. These guys are gonna go here-ish. Neil's going that way. You're going up here, I believe. You're in uniform? Mr. Borgia?
Unfortunately, yes, because all I had time to do was put on my slouch hat and the big rain cloak over me. So, I mean, I'm not immediately recognizable because I'm not wearing my shako and I'm covered by a big wet raincoat and a slouch hat.
Right.
So, but yeah, I do have my uniform.
Do you come through the front door or the back?
I think I came through the front last time, if I'm remembering. So yeah, I'll do the bell pull and try and come in the front. I'm not really here to surprise anybody.
Yeah. As you approach the door and you enter into the courtyard where the main front door is, like a lot of these inner buildings are facing into the court itself. If you're coming in back, you'd be coming like this way. but you're coming through where everyone in the court can see you. And a lot of people are even in the thunder and rain. You can see shadows, figures watching you approach the door. Thankfully, you're not wearing bright blues, so you don't attract that kind of attention. But
Yes,
you probably
I'm wearing
know.
very muted grays.
Yeah. You do the door pull, and then there is a bit of a delay until someone opens up a little window in the door. Don't you know the hour? What the hell do you want?
I need an urgent word with my tailor, Mr. Nightshade, about a shipment of goods he asked me to procure.
Communications. This person does not want to let in the rain right now. He doesn't realize that you have very important information. You kind of need to let him realize that.
19.
That does it. There's a moment of he looks like the sort of person who's probably been running around doing stuff.
Like me, yeah, I understand.
And it's like, really? Not right now? I'm busy. Could you go? Oh, you look like you're here for something important. Yeah, sure. And he kind of opens the door. You kind of get in. Up the stairs. Just stamp your boots and keep going.
Right. And
you see everyone's like milling around, checking on things.
I take the stairs like, I don't know, three at a time. Parkour!
Eventually you get up to upstairs. You see that it's a lot more muted now. There's a lot less people in here. There's maybe... Oh, there's about 6 people in here. There used to be way more full, but it looks like it's Nightshade plus a few other people doing stuff and talking about stuff. Nightshade sees you walk in, and you hear a whistling noise coming from below. And then he kind of takes a whistle off his neck and kind of blows into it a couple times, staring at you. And then you hear an answer whistle. He just shrugs and he waves at the other people at his desk and he waves you forward.
Yeah. Okay. Seaforth and her agents have it, and they're about to scarp her. They're packing up and trying to leave before dawn, storm or no storm.
Is she on the boat yet?
No, I've got some comrades out in the streets, hopefully making it a little bit more difficult for them to move out. Last I saw, they were still loading, and I've got a 10 Islander with an attitude going to demand audience with the ambassador herself, to try and add another layer of distraction. But while that's going on, I might need some more light fingers besides my own, and maybe some even more folks making it harder for their train to get to the ships. As far as I know, they haven't boarded anything yet.
I'll do you this then. If you get it, if you and yours get it, we're square. Once you give it back to us, obviously.
Yeah.
If you're able to stall them or even make us try at it and we have to collect it at the boat, we'll get it. That isn't leaving our shores. Now that you've told me. But if we have to get it, you owe me a bit of silver. Or rather, you don't, because you can't afford it. Your army will owe me a lot of silver. Because we're going to be doing an operation against the ambassador's staff and whoever they have from their ministries. And people are going to die. I'd rather not have to do that.
Right.
So,
okay.
Don't make it my problem. Otherwise, it'll cost your empire money.
Fair enough. Any chance I could get a change of clothes into something a little bit less military? Oh, and could you patch up some of these tears the uniform has gotten thus far? It's really good uniform, but it's showing a little wear.
I'll have an appointment for you in the morning. Well, let's be real. That's not what he says. Well, let's be honest. Noon is more likely, as the roads would be terrible come morning. So come by noon and we'll patch you up.
Yeah. Meanwhile, do you have some? Yeah.
Like as you're reminding him of it, you feel a nudge on your shoulder, and someone's already there with a full set of clothes.
Cool. Yeah. So Diego will change,
You're assisting with the changing.
and
It's
I'm
fitted, by the
going.
way, and tailored.
I'm going to. Yeah. That's nice. I tell the guy. Assume it's all right if I leave my rifle here until I come by tomorrow.
We'll give it a complimentary polish for you.
Yeah, okay. Be careful. It's loaded and it's really nice. So yeah, I'm just going to be taking bladed weapons and my pistol, and yeah, then I'm headed back out and gonna head back over, start to where I can get to eavesdrop on the loading guys, see if I can pick up any information, and then I may pretty quickly move to the house itself.
You mean load guys at the docks, or are you trying to get to the ambassador house?
To the people who are loading up, because they were all still loading wagons and whatever at the ambassador's house, right? They hadn't really started moving towards the docks yet, right?
Last you'd seen, yeah, but things may have changed in the interim.
Yeah, so I'll head back where I can hopefully, if they're already starting to move, I can kind of intercept them and do a little eavesdropping, or if they're still there. I'm basically trying to get to a point where I can hear somebody who looks like they know what they're doing, maybe dropping a hint if it's already been loaded, but I can't imagine that they would leave with the regular stuff, so yeah. That may be taking too much time. I can't imagine it wouldn't be leaving with the muckety mucks rather than going out. What do I think? Like, can I make a roll to kind of
intelligence or perception empathy?
Okay. 13 perception empathy. Or perception.
Get the feel they're in a bit of a hurry. But it's hard to say beyond that. You're not a 10 Islander, so you're not sure how important it is, how much they're willing to brave the storm. Or how clever they are, really. The most 10 Islander interaction you've ever had is McNeil and the couple of 10 Islanders that happen to live in Lysel.
They're in a hurry. So yeah, I'll try and figure out where the to intercept the progress of the wagon train, I guess, for lack of a better term.
I think that's where we have to wait for Carmack to be back.
Okay. I will continue putting books back on shelves. I still haven't quite recovered from the great flood of 2024.
Oh no.
But I get close. Almost all the books are back on the shelves.
See two people. Actually, one thing I'll say to you, Borgia, is that you have, by the time you start heading there, you do notice that, like, on your way there, you see that there's already some 9 folk who have floppy red caps on their heads and nice heavy cudgels. And they're kind of they're at like one of the big crossings that lead out of Summer Ward into the South Docks. So they're just waiting here as a sort of checkpoint now. And this normally would probably draw a lot of attention because this is a significant amount of people who look like they're ready to start thumping heads. But in this storm, they look miserable, like they're all in coats and stuff. But they look to be people, despite being revolutionaries. They are well-to-do revolutionaries. They have like nice heavy coats and stuff like that.
Okay. So as I pass by, I'll go, any sign of those 10 Islander bastards yet?
They point forward, and you can see down the street that that it's starting to move toward them.
Okay. And I will.
Cormac's back?
Yes, I'm back.
You find the 2 men that Borgia suggested. Safwan is still managing the troops and getting everything ready for the night and sending runners to check on everybody.
Mhm.
Because some of the people are spread out away from the summer ward. They're like in Northgate, like not Northgate where you guys were, but in the upper parts of Northgate, the Northgate.
Okay.
So it takes a bit of time to get them to you, but eventually you're able to come up from the south, and you notice there is a bit of a set of 3 carriages that are loaded up with, well, 1 cart and 2 carriages. Sorry, carriage and 2 carts. My bad. With people on them, and they look like they're about to start moving away from you as you're coming up the road.
Men, draw your sabers and double time it after me.
They draw sabers and start hustling after you.
Yeah, I double time it up to the carriage, and I see if we can halt them.
You what? Sorry.
I try and see if I can halt the carriage.
How? In what manner do you halt them? What do you
I'll
say?
come up to the driver and say, "Halt! Halt this carriage at once! I demand to speak to the ambassador." And I'll talk to them in Tin, if they understand it.
Give me. You're in uniform.
Yes.
You have no pins on your jacket, and you can use your give me communication, persuasion. You are dealing with a monarchist.
Let me check my overall bonus with them, or negative. So, -1, +1, -1. Overall, -1. Okay, it's not so bad. I thought it would be worse. Okay, communication. So a 15 overall with 1 stun point.
Yep. You have 1 stun point.
Uh, let it let it fizzle out. I don't see what I can spend it on.
The driver looks like he's getting ready to clear off, and it looks like he's getting ready to like spur the horses to speed. And he probably makes some objection of some sort or another, or even any number of things. But you hear a wrapping of a cane. You see the person inside is wrapping their cane against the roof of their carriage, and the person kind of like they're just about to start hauling full speed away from you, and then they just kind of have to halt themselves, like they're in motion, and then they stopped, and then the window is kind of pulled down a bit, and from your vantage point, Diego, when you arrive, they point that out, and you notice that the carriage, it looks like they're all packed up. The horses are ready. There's the 2 carts. There's the carriage. It looks like they're just about to start moving, and then you see them they roll maybe a spoke length and stop. Like they don't, like they're suddenly halted, and that's when you can see the blue coat, the blue and gold coat of blue and silver coat of McNeil, with a couple guys with sabers behind
it's
him.
green. It's green, actually.
Green,
Remember?
my bad. Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna kind of skirt around to the side so I can maybe come out from at the carriages from an unremarked angle.
It's the dexterity. Dexterity.
And I will wrap a bandana or a scarf or something dark around my lower face. I would guess that probably the clothes that I was given by the Ravens might include such a thing.
Yeah, there's like a nice grayish kerchief.
Yeah, that'll work.
Nice and sturdy too.
13. I do get a reroll on that because of scout, but
I'm gonna give you +2, 1 from distance, 2 because you are dressed differently. Yeah, the carriage is too busy. They don't notice you getting ready, moving anywhere. The carriage train doesn't know you're coming.
So I got 3 stunt points.
Yep.
Ooh, compensate. And ignore environmental penalties. Future tests in the same location and remember the encounter. So I should be able to work without the rain and stuff really bothering me.
You find a nice little alleyway that, by eaves and other such, you're able to kind of you're shielded from wind and rain and stuff, and you kind of disappear into the darkness.
Okay.
But this street's very well lit because it's summer ward, so it's meant to keep people from,
Right.
especially next to the magistrate's office. There are people. There's a fair amount of armed. There's the gendarme are not in full force, but they're here.
Right.
But you don't draw attention, especially since there's 3 people, 2 of which have swords drawn. So the attention's not on you at all.
Right.
Through the window, you see Reese Seaford peeking out at you there, Cormac. In a tin. Ah, is that the good McNeil I spy?
I can just imagine the scene, like rain pouring down all over my hat, dripping down from it.
Right.
We're all super screwed. And I'll look up to her, the cut's still on my face, and or is it a him or a her?
Her.
I'll look up at her and I'll, the cut's still on my face. I'll tell her, "You know why I'm here."
To take the town for your galleon masters.
Far from that.
Your
You have
uniform disagrees
something.
with you, sir.
You have something which makes you a very dangerous person for the people in this town. I'm trying to protect you. I will not harm you or will not accost you. I want you to get out safely, but you can't as long as you have that with you. You know of what I speak.
That's why I'm leaving, sir.
They will not let you leave. They're assassins, hired assassins, and they're after your head.
Strength.
Because you have the thing.
Strength check +2. And you are dealing with a monarchist, so -1. You may not believe you. Oh, wait,
So,
no. Strength, it doesn't matter. You're intimidating, and that's a different roll. Never mind. Your reputation doesn't matter in this point.
So overall, a 16. Oh, sorry, 17 if it's a +1. +2, sorry, +2.
Yeah. Well, what are we exactly going to do about it? I can't
Hand
just
it
sit here and
over.
wait for them.
Hand it over and I can secure your way out of town, I promise you. And you know I never break a promise.
Communication deception?
What do you mean? I never broke...
You're not going to give it back to her, though, are you?
I'm not going to give it back to her, but I never claimed that I would give it back to her. I said, get
Yes,
out,
that's
give it
deception.
to me
You're
and get out of here.
Yeah, it'll be safe. It'll be
20
fine.
with 6 stump points.
Yeah. Remember, it's her you're trying to bull crap, not me.
I'll undermine her, so she has a -2 penalty to all tests except attack rolls.
On your word, then, Captain.
Hand it over, and I'll get you a safe passage out of town. I promise.
It's in the front carriage. Go get it yourself.
Alright, I'll signal over to the men.
They'll charge over. He's looking for the silverware, she calls out. Which apparently the person up front knows what she's talking about and grabs a rather nice satchel, which does make clinky silverware noises, and he kind of holds it up to her, and she kind of waves like, "Hurry up, I'm in the rain, you fool, hurry up," gestures, and then looks at the soldiers who look. There's a moment of, were we supposed to threaten them? I don't think we're supposed to threaten. So one of them just kind of puts away his sword because he needs his hands to grab the thing, and he kind of takes the guy kind of hucks the satchel at him, not hard, just enough to kind of drop it down at him. Person kind of grabs it, trying to make sure they don't drop it because it feels heavy, and you seem to be very animated about it. So they're like, "Oh," and they hold up the thing, and then realize you can't see what's in it, and the kind of guy runs over real quick to show you the bag.
Is the thing inside?
You start pawing through it. There's a bit of silverware in there, like some old teapot, not old teapots, but like nice teapots, some random forks and knives, and ow, that kind of hurt. Oh, there it is. You see a wooden little chalice kind of buried amongst all the silverware.
Tell the High King, when you come back to the Tin Isles, that I have the left eye, and I plan to return. Fear is sometimes a good thing, but I come not as a conqueror, but as a savior of our people.
Initiative.
Oh no!
You've tipped your
Oh no.
I'll give you. You know what? I'll be nice. I'll give you intelligence. Intelligence or perception. You might be able to dig your way out of this.
Okay. Here's a 14 with 5 stum points.
Yeah. So yeah, if you, I'll say McNeil's a little more clever than that.
Okay.
But you can say that if you want. But I'll remind you that if you say that,
Wait.
you're declaring to her that you're stealing it from the crown and claiming it as a succession item. At which point she will likely order her men to kill you and take it back from you.
Okay. For 5 stun points. And can I try to sabotage her? Like, okay, I know that I'm smart. Okay, fine. Camera zooms back, or camera snaps back a bit. Okay. I realize that I may have been stupid, in thinking that I should probably say this, but how about we try thinking in the other direction? She's probably gonna try and get it back, but I don't want her to get it back. So, let's haul ass while we can. We'll get them a safe passage out of the city, but we'll, push them so hard on the boat and then tell the boat to just get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, we can treat that as a sabotage, so that way you're able to walk that back, and I have to be 14 basically for her to kind of clue in what's happened, like
Yep.
what you plan on doing.
And by the time we hope that she's clued in,
-5. I don't get to roll 46. That's not a thing. So
keep in mind also you have a -2 because of the undermine.
yeah. So not 14, but 9. Not 9, but -2. You say 7. 7 plus her perception. 9 plus 2 more because she has a thing. 11. 11 does not beat 14. You are able to, and Borgia, you're able to see this, especially from your vantage point. You have a clear view and ear to the conversation. You can see McNeil and his folk are trying to harry these people along.
Right.
The only problem you now have is that these boys are about to try to stop the wagon train and cause a problem that McNeil will have to deal with if you don't do something about it.
Okie dokie. So, yeah, I'll head back to the revolutionaries, lowering my face covering. Good job, boys. You delayed them long enough where we got what belongs to Seabreeze back. Let him
Good.
go back to their. That's what. That's what just happened down below with a couple of our people.
Communication.
Yeah. Persuasion?
Yep.
Leadership? Okay. 18.
Minus whatever you have with revolutionaries, but I think it equals out anyway.
Yeah, it washes 3 and 3.
As much as they really just want to thump some monarchist heads, because the revolutionaries really don't like monarchists, as you can imagine. So there's a look of who gives a crap what you think, we want to thump some heads, but there's a look of it's raining, it's done, it's not really worth it, and they're like, oh, they look disappointed that they don't get to beat anybody up tonight, but whatever, it's cold out, let's leave. They scatter eventually.
Kind of disappointed. I would have stayed and thumped heads with them at this point. Hey, I'm not in uniform. I could get away with all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, McNeil's able to kind of harry the Seaforth along, and her people are off and out the ship before they are wise to the fact that McNeil never handed it back. She's
Okay,
just that.
Yeah,
She's just that
waving
frazzled.
from the docks, like, oh yes, bye bye, bye bye. Oh yes, let's go.
Yeah, Borgia will catch up with.
That's where one of the
McNeil.
soldiers like, was I supposed to give this to them, sir?
No, you did good.
Oh, I told you.
Captain,
Head back and get some rest. Lieutenant.
we
May I
have
have a-
Satchel. Hooray.
Go ahead.
an appointment tomorrow at noon to get
Yes,
our
we
uniforms
do.
repaired.
At noon. Good. Right after the trial, then. Yes, I think we've all deserved a night of good rest, didn't we?
Trial?
The trial is in the morning. with regards to reinstating the Emperor's Continental law.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I think we've deserved a night of rest, haven't we?
Yeah. Mind if I take a look at the dingus?
At the dingus. Well, only if you keep it to yourself.
Sorry, I slipped into Humphrey Bogart and Casablanca, or Maltese Falcon mode.
Sure, take a look at the dingus.
So, does it look legit to me, as far as I know?
Intelligence evaluation
I have that.
or religious lore, either way.
Nah, I don't
It's
know.
a wooden cup with.
Looks like a wooden cup to
carving
me.
You'd be about right in that one, Diego. Get some rest. I'll see you in the morning.
Hmm. But yeah. Just remember, we need to return it before we start bargaining for it.
So right now,
No. Tomorrow at noon. That's when
I'll
the
have
appointment
it.
is.
I'll have it with me. Trust me. The last thing I need is a band of cutthroat assassins on me.
Yeah, because what you told herself is not wrong. So
I know. I'm painfully aware of the fact, and I like my neck where it is, attached to the rest of my body.
or well, GM, do I get a sense it's okay to wait till noon, or if I should go ahead and if we should walk it back over?
Empathy roll, perception.
Perception? Yeah, hang on a sec. My wife made taco soup, and oh my god, it smells good. Perception.
P.
12.
Sooner the better. You could wait till noon, but sooner is better.
Okay, yeah. Let's on the second thought, Uncle. Let's take a quick walk. Plus, I need to go pick up my uniform, or I'll have to explain why I'm showing up in these really nicely fitting rags.
Question it not, Diego. Lead the way, then.
So yeah, let's go back to the tailor shop.
Oh, what is it? Oh, it's you. Who's he? Says the guy through the window.
Captain Cormac McNeil of the 7th Lysel Elite Infantry and Earl of Strathcliffe.
He's my uncle.
And his uncle.
Is he good?
He's fine.
Guy gives a studious look at McNeil.
I believe we have something to return to you. Or rather, I have something to return to you.
The little window closes, the door opens. It looks fairly calm down here since Borgia was here. It's just this person, and there may be others, but you don't see anyone milling around downstairs. You know the way.
Yep, but Borgia will lead McNeil up top.
Oh. The guy puts a hand to Cormac's shoulder for a second.
Yes?
He hefts up a coin purse. I think this is yours.
Wherever did you get this?
I think you dropped it, Uncle.
You know what?
It fell somewhere on the southeast side of Northgate.
Keep it, sir, and you know why? Because we have things to discuss about this item. Would you mind if we do it now, or would you mind if we do it later?
Uncle, this is not the guy you need to talk to.
Who do I need to talk to then, Diego?
Upstairs.
Ah, yes. A coin purse. Diego, handle that, will you?
Of course.
Into the coin purse.
Right.
It's the entirety of McNeil's personal wealth. They stole his wallet, basically.
200 silver. Enjoy it.
I'll switch it out for copper.
That's what that first roll was. Someone just pilfering him. And then the next one was someone going, aha, we're going to rob you. It's like, rob him of what? He's already been picketed. Like, oh, damn. It's like, you idiots.
Didn't even notice. Yeah, well. How's that for a slice of fried gold, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So you the two of you get upstairs. There's still some 6 people up there. The chapter master is kind of sitting at his desk. There's some whistling that happens.
After the whistle speech is done, Diego will Master Severus Nightside, may I present Captain Cormac McNeil, late of the Ten Isles, currently in the service of His Majesty Aileron.
And Earl of Strathcliffe, I remind you.
And my uncle,
And your uncle.
because you can't choose family. And Diego will like go and make sure his rifle's okay. his real family.
So, Master, what was it that you said? Master, in any case. Would you
Nightshade.
mind? Nightshade. Would you mind if I sit down?
Feel free.
Good. I'll sit down. I believe I may have something that belongs to you. Or at least I have been informed that it belongs to you.
He gestures to his desk.
I'll set the cup down on his desk.
He motions with his chin at somebody, and person walks over, picks up the cup, and starts studying it, feeling it across with their thumb. And then they twist it a little bit to see if it actually is not. It's not turning or something like that. Nods. He waves him off, and the guy walks away with the cup.
I wanted to talk to you about the cup. You see, I own a great relic of the Tin Isles myself as well. And being an exile of the Tin Isles, I eventually wish to return, but in a higher position than I once was. These artifacts guarantee succession, praxis, as you will, to the high throne of the Tin Isles. And right now, right here, I'd like to make a deal with you. I require that artifact, along with possibly several others, in order to become something in the Tin Isles. Something which, one day, may be of use to you and your folk. And I would wish to trade you for it.
What are you offering?
Safe haven in the Tin Isles, once I rise to a station, which I can guarantee you safe haven with, and the ability to operate freely within the Tin Isles, openly, without the cover of the night, without shadows, but freely as you wish.
Why do you think I would want that?
Aren't you tired of skulking around all the time?
Am I skulking to you, sir?
No, but the men who pilfered my pocket were. I'm not allowing a thieves' guild, of course, but there's always use and fear
But an Assassin's Guild? Why
of a
not?
guild of assassins, yes. Because what's all's fair in love and politics, and I guess so are assassinations, right?
You offer me a future exchange on hopes and dreams.
If you want
Well,
something more immediate, I'm well disposed with funds and the favor of the Emperor, but far be it from me to tell you what you want. Why don't you tell
and
me?
Diego pipes up with, well, he is already the Earl of Strathcliffe, which would make a nice, quiet springboard.
Are you offering... Wait, out of character. Are you offering my estate?
I'm not offering his estate. I'm just noting that you already have a position where
Oh,
you
yes,
could
I am an earl.
offer them
yeah.
some protection and the ability to operate. And then, while you're rising, they could be rising.
Right, of course, yes. If you want a base of operations, I see no other better place than my little island in Earth.
All sorts of trade opportunities back and forth at Strathcliffe, sure enough. Says Diego, cleaning his rifle.
I'd consider 280 gold up front.
Do I have such funds at my disposal? I have like 200 silver with me.
That's like 20 gold.
Yeah, I'd somehow need to get 260 more. I'll look over to Diego. Diego?
How much money's in this purse I just got handed?
20 gold.
Oh, okay.
Unless you painted gold, then we could have 200 gold. Haha.
And he's looking for
280 gold pieces.
any gold pieces. Okay, let me pull up some information here. Where's the thing with all of our party loot? Doesn't have any money.
Oh wait, I seized a bunch of silver from these guys, from the ambassador. Did we give those back, or did we?
So, you mean the silverware? Yeah, you probably still have it.
How much is in there? Could we have counted it on the way?
You can count it here even.
Oh sure, I'll count it here.
How many gold per silver?
10. Oh, sorry, other way around. 10 silver to a gold. So
70
many silver
silver.
worth of silverware.
So another 7 gold pieces. Oh, blast it. Okay, I'll
It's
look over to
nice.
Diego again.
I mean, Diego has 138 gold pieces equivalent.
138 gold pieces. Oh. And I've got 20. Okay. How about I try and offer them a sweeter deal? GM, can you give me like an intelligence roll or something so I can discern? Let's say hypothetically that I can't afford what they're trying to bargain this thing for. What's something immaterial that I could offer them that would possibly pique their interest?
He actually offers it to you for free. Once he sees that you're kind of counting up coins, you're trying to get scared up together. He offers. There's another thing I'll take, since I doubt you wish to answer to your major about the sum of a small fortune.
Name
I
your
imagine
price.
you have your fortune on you at the moment. Why would you?
Name your price. Yeah, name your price.
I want the House of Ravens to be the sole supplier of Strathcliffe's help. We'll be your tailors, your bathers, seamstresses, your accountants. We will be your staff.
Hell, once I become whatever I wish to become with these artifacts, you can have yourself a whole mansion in Strathcliffe for all I'm concerned. However, some assurances from you, sir.
Oh, we'll have assurances. He waves his finger
Just-
at somebody, and you see there's already papers written out of a contract that he puts on the table in front of you.
I need to check one thing in this contract.
Oh, feel
Does it say anywhere that thou won't raise a hand against me?
Do you ask him, or are you actually reading it?
I'm asking him. Does it say anywhere in this contract that you won't raise a hand against me? Or a blade, for that matter, if I'm not being precise enough.
If you honor your side of the arrangement, our blades will be nice and polished, and you will live to see the following morning. If you short us what you promise us in your ascent, you will not see your coronation.
And afterwards, if some political enemy pays you a hefty sum to take my head anyway?
You get first counteroffer. It is a king's prerogative, after all. We are civilized.
Aye, civility, such as it is these days. Hand me a quill.
Someone hands you immediately a very well-trained servant kind of sets a quill and inkwell next to you.
What's his name again? Sorry, Master Knight. Knight. Help me out, Diego.
Zephyrus Nightshade.
Master Nightshade, right?
Sorry, I didn't realize you were talking to me.
Master Nightshade, tell me, What's better than the devil you don't know?
The church that says it does.
Or the devil you do? And I'll sign the thing. If I have just signed away my soul to you, sir, then keep it well hidden.
Don't worry, we're good at tailoring souls to fit whatever the occasion might be.
The artifact, if you will, please.
And you see a nicely wrapped package with nice twine and various little stickers put on it to indicate how incredibly fragile and please do not open this. Things are on it.
I'm
Looks like
sorry,
you're
but I have to open it and see if it's the thing. It's not that I don't trust you. It's I have to.
He gestures.
I'll open it up and take a look.
The contract you've signed is rolled up and it's dried off and very carefully filed away.
Mm-hmm. Is the cup inside?
Yep.
The cup?
Evaluation.
Oh, yes. I've been waiting for this. Oh, yes.
You got it, yeah. It is actually what you're looking for.
With 5 stun points. Shit, what do we do with them? I seize the initiative. No, I don't.
Time to
I
kill
can't
these
s- I-
highly trained assassins. Let's go.
I can't sabotage this in any way.
Not that you'd want to, really.
Can I get some extra information, as in how many pieces of the puzzle are there left?
Yeah, I can tell you that. I'll type it out so I don't forget. Chalice, the crown, the sword, the shield,
And I have the left eye.
the left eye. Oh. The chalice, the crown, the sword, the shield, the left eye, the stone. The stone is the thing that the throne is put over.
Sword.
Okay.
The stone is the thing the sword came out of. You remember.
Yeah, of course. Arthur. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll cross another one off my list then. I have 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 out of 6. Good progress. Thank you. I hope this concludes our business for now.
Would you like my man to wrap it for you again? You can watch him do it if it makes you feel better.
Just whatever. Diego, time to head
Mhm.
off. Do you have any business with these men?
I wouldn't mind a moment or two with Master Nightshade.
I'll go and watch your man wrap my package. Take care of my nephew, will you?
I will.
All right, go ahead, nephew.
Once McNeil's gone, I'll say, so I take it we're even.
I'm sure various officers will need tailoring, and I see no need to turn away good silver.
Speaking of which, what do I owe you for this? And I point to the civilian, well-tailored civilian clothes I'm wearing. I think I'll keep it if you don't mind.
Question for you, Mr. Borgia.
Please, Diego.
We're not quite friends yet, Mr. Borgia.
Very well, Master Nightshade.
Wise of you. Have you ever thought of taking up tailoring?
Funny you should mention it. I was going to speak to you a bit about perhaps some training in cutting and stitching that I might find useful on my campaigns. One runs into so many circumstances that can quickly tear or ruin a pair of clothes.
A good tailor knows their way around a needle. Do you? He's checking if you're a rogue, basically.
Well, I'm a fair hand with needlework, but there's few better when it comes to threading the needle's eye from almost any distance, and I kind of pat the breech of my rifle.
Tell you what, Mr. Borgia. We can teach you proper Bidluian tailoring. And have you fitted for a proper set of gloves.
That
And
sounds delightful.
Once your gloves are set aside and settled, we can discuss the rest of the ensemble. We'll take this
Fair
in
enough.
steps. Your friends of constitutional order may have some opposition to you wearing a pin on the inside. But that's a choice for you and the creator to decide, not I.
Fair enough.
And if
But a rifleman's a different kind of soldier, you know.
It's true. Just remember that if you decide to betray my confidence, you'll be able to discuss with the creator the finer points of your riflemanship.
Ah, fair enough. And understood.
Good day, Mr. Borgia. Good
I'll see
evening,
you
I
at noon for my.
suppose.
And to you. I'll be in tomorrow for the repairs on my uniform there.
He nods and gets back to work.
Okay. There's a nice little explanation for my next specialization.
Yep.
Got everything handled, Diego?
Yep. Just tying up some loose ends and
Good.
paying for the clothes. These really do. They fit so well and don't constrict my movement at all. It's amazing.
Off to the barracks then, and as for the rest of the silver, why don't you distribute it between the men? I think they deserved some loot. They behaved themselves well today, after all.
The two who helped you out, or just the men in general?
The entire rifleman squadron, will you?
Fair enough.
Good.
Won't that leave you out of pocket, though?
I still have the 200 silver, which was graciously given back to me after it was pickpocketed.
Ah, speaking of, and I hand him his purse back.
Ah, thank you. Very well. I'll head over to the barracks and get a good night's sleep. See you in the morning for the trial.
I'll put on my dress uniform.
Good. As for Dumas and the dame, well, Godspeed that they made it out in this storm. And
return victorious.
And McNeil will leave.
I'll note to you, McNeil, that you do not have the full amount of coin in your purse.
Ah, bastard! How much did they steal?
Well, I had 200.
I had 200 on the dot. Yeah.
You have 180.
Bastard stole 20 silver. Oh, fine. You know, what can you do?
Finder's fee.
Yeah, finder's fee, I guess. Bastard.
On your way out, Borgia, the guy at the door stops you with a hand to your shoulder. Mr. Borgia? Your appointment for your gloves, and he hands you an envelope.
Ah, thank you very much. And I will tuck it well inside my shirt and coat so that it doesn't get wet. And read it later.
Very good. Thus, the two of you return back to barracks to find yourself a night's rest in the storm.
It was a rough night.
And with that, I think we'll call it. As much has been done and achieved. And What could have been a very bloody night turned out rather bloodless. There could have been a shootout at the docks, a stabbing in dark alleyways, or even a battle in a coat fitting room. Thankfully, we did not see the power politic I warned of at the beginning, but perhaps there's more days to come. For now, all of you watching, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing, thank you very much for playing. We all hope to see you again next time. Bye. Almost wanted a whipping, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, almost.
Oh,
Like
you
I
got to
said-
hit me in the face with a cane, for Christ's sake. That's all you get.
That's
Lethal blow
nothing.
knocks him out, kills him entirely.
Yeah, yeah. 5 stun points. Lethal blow. Ha! Or lightning attack, lightning attack.
Just be gods.
Bang, bang, bang.
What's your defeat condition? I'm gonna kill. Well, holy crap! I have to make a new character, dude. Well, the crime's covered up.